That's a good start. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft today.
Hey.
Hi, how are you doing, partner?
I'm doing well.
Man, I saw the nastiest car accident on the way to work today. Did you have a hard time driving in?
It was wet. Yeah, it was raining.
I couldn't see. I felt like I was in Mississippi in the South with that torrential rain coming down.
Yes, it was hard. It was hard to drive this morning.
But you got a new Trump hat.
Yeah.
And for those of you watching on our Signature Bank Studios, you can see it. It's blue. What's going on?
Well, I got this
blue
at the golf outing.
Oh,
you remember the guy? He was there passing out all the Trump.
The general manager at the Trump Tower in Chicago.
And I guess one of them isn't he over all of them or something like that? Or the Miami Doral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, Miami Doral's a beautiful place.
Well, speaking of Doral.
Yeah.
Trump was there last night challenging Biden to a golf match, but we're working on that right now to get that audio because that's the best thing ever. But, who's the real threat to democracy?
Oh.
The radical left Democrats have spent this entire election posing as defenders of democracy. You ever hear Biden? He's a threat to democracy. He doesn't even know what the hell the term is. Trump is a threat to democracy. This guy. Low IQ. He's a low IQ individual. But they're lying in the entire world of Joe Biden's condition. I mean, you see his condition. You see them frantically trying to overturn the results of 50 state primaries and install a new candidate at the behest of their very rich donors. Do you know that we took in record numbers over the last 4 weeks, and most of it was taken in with small donors, $61 on average, $61. And those people vote. But the Democrats, I think that their funding is stopping because I think they're rich donors. They have a lot of rich donors. We have some, but we don't really focus on it. We focus on the small donor. To me, one thing, every small donor votes. The rich donors, they're in Monte Carlo during the election. How's the election going? Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. He is a major threat to democracy, and Democrats are the ones who really want to destroy democracy in our country.
So he had a large crowd. Tens of thousands of people were there. And when George Stephanopoulos was interviewing Biden started talking about crowds, and George put the brakes on that, like, buddy, let's not talk crowd size. Yeah. Let's not talk glove size or shoe size.
Oh. What's your plan to turn the campaign around?
You saw it today. How many people you get draw crowds like I drew today? You find me any more enthusiastic than today? Huh?
I mean, I don't think you want to play the crowd game. Donald Trump can draw big crowds. There's no question about that.
He can draw a big crowd, but what does he say? Who's he have? I'm the guy supposedly in trouble. We raised $38 million within 4 days after this. We have over 1 million individual contributors. Less than $200. I've not seen what you're proposing.
I mean, he is so, I don't know if he's playing dumb blonde on purpose, but he's not realizing what the numbers are. His approval rating is at 36%.
Yeah.
Emerson poll in the swing states has him up 1 in Michigan, 4 in Arizona, 6 in Nevada, 5 in Pennsylvania, and up 3 in Wisconsin. I mean, that's all within the margin of error. So this is people who think Trump has this locked in. Yeah. Please, my God, don't.
Yeah, but he's the incumbent who's done a great job, though, right?
Well, yeah, there's always power associated with incumbency. That's for sure.
Correct.
But does Trump want him to stay in the race? Because Trump has been playing this very well.
Yeah.
After the debate, take time to let this fester, let it percolate. Yeah. And Biden has done a horrible job. I'm sure you've seen the interviews on the black radio stations.
Oh, I have.
On with George Stephanopoulos.
Yes,
it was horrible.
Yes. And it was taped.
Pardon?
It was taped, and it was still horrible.
I know, but what they did is, so it's 22 minutes long. Yeah. George Stephanopoulos went with him to Madison. He gave a speech, and then they sat in a room, and there was no edits, no camera edits, anything, and just let it play. But then Trump was smart, but he went on with Hannity, and Hannity asked him, do you want Biden to stay in the race?
Well, we've prepared for him, but I don't think it's going to matter. We had a great 4 years. Our border was the strongest ever. Our economy pre-COVID was incredible, the best ever But then when we got hit with the gift from China, the China virus, that came in, and we did a fantastic job, and we got it back where the stock market was actually higher to just prior to COVID coming in. So, I mean, we've done a job. The military, we defeated ISIS, took out the worst terrorists in the world, and defeated ISIS. And that was a big thing. I was told it would take 5 years, and it took us a couple of months. The military is fantastic. By the way, the military is not woke. The people at top are woke, but the military is never going to be woke. Those are incredible people, what they did for me in the fight on ISIS. And then we had no wars. I mean, I had no wars. We're heading into World War III, in my opinion, with this man semi-running things, because he's not running things. The people that surround the Oval Office, the people that surround the Resolute desk, the beautiful Resolute desk, they're really running things in Washington, I suspect. And it's
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. We keep working on that text line. We're trying.
It's not up yet.
No, but that was such a great form of communication for a lot of our listeners who are shy, who don't want to call in, but want to be part of the conversation. So once again, I can't stress enough how much we need our text line back. All right, here is the fun part of last night.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
The golf match challenge.
Oh my.
Because I was thinking about that, too, when they got into it at the debate about golf. Who's a better golfer? First thing I thought was, let's go.
Yeah.
It's like a Ryder Cup situation. Let's, get this going.
I'm also officially challenging Crooked Joe to an 18-hole golf match right here. Underal's Blue Monster, considered one of the greatest tournament golf courses anywhere in the world, one of the great courses of the world. It will be among the most watched sporting events in history, maybe bigger than the Ryder Cup or even the Masters.
It is a beautiful course. I never played it. I walked it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was there for an AmpFest event.
Oh.
And it's a beautiful place.
Terrell?
It's like all these different villas throughout the 18-hole course.
Why don't you play golf?
I got my hip. I can't.
Oh. I know
wish
you have
I
a
could.
hip. What do you got? Do you need to go to QC Kinetics?
Well, I may. I have a surgically repaired hip.
Oh.
And it
didn't take, right? See, then you should have gone to QC Kinetics first.
Okay, well, hey, I told you to hook a brother up. I told you that.
312-642-5600. Let's go to Craig, if I can get this working. There we go. Craig in Mount Greenwood. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hello.
Hey, hello, Amy and John. Good morning, and doing well. Really good to hear you guys in it, and good topic here, because there's something that takes and bothers the heck out of me. Everybody on earth realizes what's going on and all the corruption and all that, and yet every time this thing is brought up, like some of Trump's lawyers and everything would bring things up to the Supreme Court, they say there's no standing. The Justice Department with all the different things. Our Supreme Court and Justice Department act like their heads are in the sand, like they don't know what's going on. What the heck is going on with our country, where you see as plain as day, there's no, that this guy is not running the country. He's all messed up. Trump is being cheated, and they're going after him with warfare, lawfare and all that. And we don't have any justice or anything in our country. We don't have anything that's working to take and put a check on what's going on. And that's what I don't get. That out of something that we have something to. What do you think is going on? Where it doesn't seem to be any justice.
Yeah, I'll say this, man.
Thanks, Craig.
I really believe we've gotten so used to blaming, the politicians, blaming the Supreme Court. No, it's on us. It's on the voter. I mean, we continuously send these. Well, I don't, but there's a mass group of people who continue to send these same people back to office and who've done nothing. It's incumbent upon us, the voters. And it used to be the election was how we solved the problem. But we've seen what happened with our elections, the rigging. I'm not going to, people. I believe that last election was rigged. They used the system to rig the election. And
they used COVID to change the rules.
Correct. Which is rigging.
Even the way that they campaigned and how they nominated Biden.
Yes.
And how, he was not out campaigning.
No.
And when he did, He had a mask on and people were in their cars.
Yeah, he had 12 people.
And they were honking. And it's so embarrassing.
In circles. Remember
Just,
the circles?
it's just so embarrassing. But what can we do? Because I'm very antsy about this election. And so this past week, well, I went to Belize, but then I was in Utah, and my youngest son, Eli, brought 5 of his friends. 2 black guys, guy from El Salvador, and then white dude and a Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican's mine. They're all, of the 5, they started conversations with me about how they're for Trump. One was kind of quiet. The white dude was a little, because his mom's.
It's always the white.
Well, it's always blame it on the whiteys, honkies. But even though he was listening though. Yeah. But so 2 of them, one turns 18 because he's really young. He graduated early. He turns 18 in August. So I'm going to take him to register to vote. Yeah. And on election day, I'm going to take him and 3
take
other.
Them all.
Well, the ones that are here, the other ones are at college. I'm taking them to vote.
Yeah. That's a good.
And they're voting for Trump.
Yeah, and also get the list of all.
And even if they're voting for Democrat, I still want them to be part of the process. I would drive them anyway. I would drive slower, and I wouldn't stop and get food. Yeah. But this time, I'm going to pick them up and take them to register to vote and to vote.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Republicans, my good friend, he calls himself the Ghost. I'm gonna call his name out, John Reeves. He's been harping about early voting, and Republicans have not done a good job. Just for decades of the early voting process, especially now with mail-in ballots. Get that list. Go knock on that door and say, hey, I understand you got a ballot. Have you voted? Have you filled out the ballot yet?
Okay.
Go. The Democrats do this. This is what they've done. I know because I was a part of the Democrats.
Can I be a part of that and say Wisconsin or?
You can go anywhere you want to knock on doors. It's a free country. That's what I love about what Scott Pressler's out there doing, the persistence.
Oh,
he's
Scott
out there.
Pressler. He's great.
Single-handedly flipping Pennsylvania. So, get out there, get as many people as you can to the polls, get people to sign up as registrars, poll watchers, election judges, and get out there and do the job that needs to be done. You precinct committeemen out there, get up off your lazy tails and get out there and push this thing. That's the only way. Going to events and country clubs, ain't nobody got time for that. We got to get out there, get our elbows in the and work. Use your butt, use your feet, and get out there and get as many people to the polls as you possibly can. Because if it's not close, they can't cheat. Hugh Hewitt wrote a book, and I keep telling people, read that book. If it's not close, they cannot cheat.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, now it's racist to be on time. We'll explain, but into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott. Good morning, Mike.
5:31 on AM 560. The Answer, 66 degrees. Want to let you know of a traffic situation on the outbound Kennedy right as you approach Canfield, entirely shut off. Traffic is being diverted off at Canfield. A fatal accident is being investigated there on the outbound Kennedy as you head to O'Hare this morning. After kicking off this week's NATO summit, marking the 75th anniversary of the alliance, President Biden will officially welcome NATO allied leaders to the D.C. summit today.
Pleasure to host you in this milestone year, to look back with pride at all we've achieved and look ahead to our shared future with strength and with resolve.
The summit comes at a critical time for Biden as he faces major pressure from fellow Democrats to show that he is fit to serve another 4 years. Federal Reserve says high inflation isn't the only risk the economy faces. As part of his annual address, Fed Chair Jerome Powell told a Senate committee Tuesday he wants to see more evidence inflation is cooling before cutting interest rates. Crews are scrambling to restore power to over 1.5 million customers in Texas after Hurricane Beryl slammed the state.
This will be a multi-day restoration effort.
It's a race against time as much of southeast Texas is under a heat advisory again today. Kroger and Albertsons on Tuesday released a list of stores the companies plan to sell if a merger between the grocery giants wins approval from regulators. The merger was announced in 2022 but has been held up by the FTC. 2 people, including a tow truck driver, were killed in a shootout. It happened on Chicago's far south side early this morning. Chicago police tell us police responded to the 11,000 block of South Low around 2:30. Officers found a 59-year-old man operating a tow truck shot in the head, pronounced dead at the scene. And a 45-year-old man who was shot multiple times, later transported to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, where he was pronounced dead. A boil water order has been issued for parts of Chicago's South Side this morning. The boil order is because of a leak on a high-pressure water main inside the Roseland pumping station. People in Beverly, Morgan Park, Auburn, Gresham neighborhoods saw about 4 inches of rain yesterday, being advised to boil that water for at least 5 minutes before consuming it. Now, the leak has been repaired, but it's not clear when the boil order will be lifted. Cubs rattle out 14 hits and a 9-2 win over Baltimore. While the White Sox were rained out, they have a doubleheader on the South Side with the Twins scheduled today. The news, a service of Health Insurance Matters. Are you 65 or older and thinking about Medicare? Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Call Stephen Tucker today for free Medicare advice. 630-674-1551. HealthInsuranceMentors.com. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says times have changed.
People don't trust the election. People don't trust the ballot counters. People don't trust the process. And I kind of think it's my job to point out that we have got procedures in place that are far different from 2020.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Being active is important to me. As you get older, it gets a little harder every year. But if I had to get rid of all my other supplements, the one thing that I would continue to take in my life is Balance of Nature.
I've been taking Balance of Nature for a little over a year. It is important to have fruits and vegetables, and how convenient. You got them in a capsule. Who doesn't love that? I'm going to continue to take it. Why stop something that makes you feel good?
Splash into your summer with Balance of Nature's summer savings. Go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 50% off your first set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Don't miss out. This offer is only available while supplies last. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this limited-time offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This is Sean Thompson for Donley Auctions. Donley Auctions wants your stuff. They have buyers. They need your items. If you're a collector, contact them and find out the market value. If you know a collector, tell Donley about them. If they sell it, you'll get a Donley's finder fee. Cha-ching, cash in your pocket. Randy, what are you on the hunt for now?
Hi, Sean. I'm currently looking for old guns and military items for upcoming auction. We need old helmets, uniforms, swords and flags, and daggers from any war, especially World War II items of American, German, and Japanese armies. They're always the top sellers. If you have old Japanese samurai swords that a relative brought back from the war, definitely call me because you could be sitting on a fortune.
Do you have any of these? Call Donley. You know anyone that has any of these things? Call Donley and get Donley's finder's fee. Donley Auctions, 815-923-7000. Tell them Sean sent you.
Join me, Dennis Prager, on an unforgettable Bible cruise to the Caribbean, November 29th to December 8th, 2024. Imagine 9 days of basking in the sun, surrounded by the stunning beauty of a tropical paradise. Amid profound conversations, I'll share about the Bible and my insights into current events in a way that I believe you will really enjoy. Secure your spot on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure by calling 855-565-5519 or booking online at PragerBibleCruise.com.
Chicagoland certified financial planning professional Tim Stearns discusses taxes in retirement.
Most people are paying more in taxes and keeping less of their money to live and do what they enjoy. That's why we've put out the retirement tax bill calculator online. You can see with your own eyes just how much you might be overpaying. It's a valuable tool, $500 value, but we made it free for you to view and run your own numbers at MVPCFP.com. That's MVPCFP.com.
To run your retirement tax bill calculator, go to MVPCFP.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Cornerstone Securities, LLC. today. Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, a service of Turnkey.pro and Turnkey's real-time threat hunting. It defends you, your employees, and your customers from vulnerable cyber attacks, phishing scams, and other threats. Turnkey has solutions to protect your business. Visit turnkey.pro. Kennedy shut down on the outbound side between Canfield and I-190 on the way to O'Hare. Traffic diverted off at Canfield after a fatal accident that continues to be investigated. Ike outbound, the Ike jammed up between 25th and Manheim due to an accident. A left lane blocked there on the outbound side of the Eisenhower this morning. Tri-State, an accident being cleared out of your way southbound right before 87. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Some rain this morning, cloudy later, and a high of 78. Clear to partly cloudy and 64 overnight. Light rain everywhere. 67 at O'Hare, 67 Midway, 67 in Aurora, 65 in Morris, 67 Lakefront. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
As Mike Scott was reporting that accident that we saw on the inbound Kennedy, It was a fatality. Whew. Drove right by it and said a prayer for that person. Oh, God. So just please drive carefully out there. It's nasty, and there's... You don't need to rush to be on time.
No.
That leads into our next segment. Hi, Amy Jacobson here, by the way. John Anthony filling in for Dan Profts.
Hey.
And coming to work today, I was listening to the radio, and gosh, guess what's racist now? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Anybody want to guess what's racist now?
Well,
it's being on time.
Well, there's a historical thing called CP time.
I'm sorry. Speak up, sir.
Yeah, I'm right in the mic.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I can't.
There's this thing called CP time.
What is CP time?
Color people time.
Oh, come on. Okay.
So this Duke Medical School, this is where it came
Duke
from.
Medical School this came from?
Duke Medical School claims it is white supremacy culture to expect people of color to be on time in a strategic plan for creating, guess what that is, an anti-racist workplace. They started, this plan came out in 2021, basically. And it was dismantling racism and advancing equity, diversity, and inclusion in the School of Medicine. DEI.
What if somebody's having a heart attack?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, if I show up on time, it might be a little bit racist.
Well, everything's racist now. Come on. Everything is racist.
Being on time is white supremacy?
Yeah.
312-642.
It's part of the white supremacy culture.
Excuse me, John.
Culture. Come on now, Amy. Get with the program.
But are you sick of this as a black man?
I am.
Like, when is enough enough?
I am, because it continues to belittle and show that and pushes out that black people are just dumb. And we're not. Black people are some of the best and greatest inventors of all time. I mean, we've done a lot of great things, and they want to continue to belittle us, that we have to see racism in everything. Because if you didn't get the job, it was racism. No, I just wasn't properly qualified to get the freaking job. You know, when I do my show, I talk a lot about a lot of black greatness, because there's a lot of it out there. Even today, to this day, how many black billionaires do we have there? How many black multimillionaires? Let's focus there, because if we continue to teach our kids that there are limitations to success, that's all they're going to do. That's why I don't like the race hustlers like Jesse and Al, and because they limit success of all people in general. Because I'm telling you, when you see black success, that means everybody's succeeding. You know, and when you try to belittle and limit what black success looks like, I'm running away from you.
Well, I wonder what time class starts at Duke Medical School. And I wonder who shows up on time. I mean, with this job, we have a little leeway. I could come as early as, I could come at midnight. I can come at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
We have some leeway. But for other things, you have to be on time for.
Oh.
When you go to a store that opens at 6 a.m. in the morning, you'll see people getting there 10 minutes before. I went to a store in St. George. I was waiting. No, I got there 5 minutes early. And I expect them to open on time.
Right.
I had a tight schedule that day. You have to be on time.
Right. You have to be on time. I mean,
it's a sign of respect.
Yeah. So you're gonna take that mentality into that being a doctor, and you have to be on time for this surgery. If you're not here at this time for that surgery, what happens to that patient? That's the mentality you carry with you. You know, one of the things I learned playing sports is that practice is important. One of the things I learned as a cop, training, practice is important because what you do in training carries out into whatever profession or whatever you do.
Were you, I have had problems though sometimes with my car breaking down or something happened, family emergency where I couldn't be on time. And Dan, it's happened to Dan too, not many times.
Yeah.
Where I remember calling the doorman at the presidential tower.
Yeah.
Where did he live? He lived at
the
oh my God.
Right
Justin, where did he live?
Pier, right?
He lived where Oprah lived there. Michael Jordan, everybody's lived there. Anybody who's anybody.
The big tall black buildings.
I know, but
I forgot. I don't know the name. I don't remember.
It's
Come
not
on,
presidential
you guys.
towers. Come on.
No, it's not presidential towers.
Oh, I'm having a moment. But I called the doorman there and said, hi, my name's Amy. I work with Dan Prof. Could you go knock on his door? And he wouldn't do it. All right. Lake Point Tower. No, is it Lake Point Towers?
Yeah, that is it. Lake Point Towers.
Yeah, it's the only building that's east of Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Jim in LaGrange, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So I'm kind of old school, Amy, and I'm a coach like you, and I ask my kids to be on Lombardi time. So if you don't know what that is, that means, so Coach Vince Lombardi of the Green Bay Packers, if you were 10 minutes early, you were late.
Ah. So what time do you get to practice?
If you ever ask your kids to be on Lombardi time, they should know what that means, but if they don't, teach them what that means. That's a good habit to be involved with there. Thanks. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Coach.
I get to my show.
I know who Lombardi is, by the way. Pardon?
Yeah. I get to my show at 2, even though it starts at 4.
Okay.
You know, I like to unwind, get my mind ready for what I'm.
Get pumped up.
You know, listen
to la 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 la. All right, let's go to George in Naperville. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Yeah. So when being fashionably late transcends race.
It does.
What did he say? I'm sorry,
to be
I was
fashionably
coughing.
late transcends race. He's right. I mean, everybody's late, but to make it a racial issue, you know, I think that's what Dan talks about. You know, I'm trying to funnel my inner Dan Prof as I had his Prof University shirt on, but that lends to that talk of identitarian issues and politics and things of that nature. Because everything you identify everything through the lens of race, or through the lens of
I'm
skin
just
color.
offended that they even did a study on that.
Yeah.
They even published an article about that. Doesn't matter what gender you are, what race you are, you got to be on time.
Right.
And you know what I hate? When women show up late with a Starbucks.
Right.
Because I think, oh, well, you had time to stop by a Starbucks.
Yeah.
But you didn't make the time to respect my time and be on time.
Yeah, there's a lot of research dollars in these type of things now, though.
Tea times. You got to make your tea time.
Yeah.
If you're black or white,
Yeah.
you don't make your tea time.
No.
That's a sign of respect. You're done. Then get behind whoever's behind you. 312-642-5600.
Was Dan late from Oak Park yesterday? I saw you posted he was at Oak Park Country Club.
Oh.
He wasn't late, was he?
No. Dan's not late to golf.
That's what I'm saying.
John in Peatone. Hello, John. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Live by one Bible that the military's had forever. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
Yep.
All right. That's good. Thanks, John, for the phone call. Appreciate it. We do take exceptions for family emergencies or tire
happens.
blowouts.
Yeah.
But then you call.
Yeah, that's stuff.
I call Justin a lot. Justin's on my lifeline. Like, hi, Justin. I'm on my way. Ron on the south side. Hi, Ron. How are you?
Uh-oh. Hey, look here.
I learned a lot of things from. Oh, Amy, real quick, how did you like Belize? You know, I was there in May for my son's wedding.
That's right. Oh, where did you stay? Were you on an island or were you in the?
San Pedro. San Pedro.
Oh, that's where I was. What hotel? Do you remember where you stayed?
I was in Mahogany Bay Resort. Best time of my life. You know,
I loved it, by the way. But I did real quick. Can we talk about Belize for a second? I loved it. I did not expect all the garbage that I saw. Did you see that?
Oh yes, but did you drive the golf cart?
Yeah, around the whole island.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is beautiful,
okay.
but it made me miss Mexico. Okay, go Ron.
But I learned a whole lot of lessons from my father, and I don't mind saying that's why I am successfully retired. I wake up every morning and listen to this show. But the most important thing, when I was a child, maybe 10, 11 years old, finished my homework. He said, okay, you can go outside. He said, you have to be back at 6. He said, if you cannot be back at 6, don't go.
Oh.
Okay? Don't even go, because guess what? That's it for you. You're done for the rest of the summer. So I can probably count the times on my hand now, Billy, but that's what he said. He basically said, no, there's no excuse. And you know, John, you play sports, and you did too, Amy. It would be my turn to bat. Sometimes I have to run and go home. It's like, I'm sorry, y'all. They said, Brian, where you going?
Well, back then we didn't have cell phones. Did you have a watch?
No. It was right by the playground, and I could see the clock. But I just had to tell you that most important thing that I learned from him. Learned a lot, but he said, no, there is no excuse. I didn't know what time it was. Oh, Dad, it was my turn to bat. No, you be here at 6 o'clock. Have good hearing you, John.
All right, thanks, brother.
Thanks, Ryan.
And them street lights were everything.
Yep.
They were everything. You start seeing them dim, and especially when you're having fun, it's like, I gotta go. And everybody used to tease me, oh, you gotta go home.
And then someone's mom would yell out, Johnny!
Yeah, because our field,
you gotta come home. And then everybody would run.
Where we played baseball, softball was on 87th and Union. So there was an abandoned lot there. So we used to play baseball in there. My house you could literally see my house. It was a few hundred yards away. And my mother used to call. We out there playing. We're in an intense game. We're out there playing. John. Well, Demetrius is what she called me. So whenever she said Demetrius, that's my middle name.
Okay.
When she said Demetrius, I thought,
give me the yell.
I'm in trouble. Demetrius! And I'll come in. Now, she got up to walk to come out to call me. And sat back down. And she would say, go get me that remote over there. I lie to you not. If my mother's listening, she know I'm not lying. Because sometimes she listens when I come on. My mother would do that. She would call us in just to get something for her. And she had just gotten up to call us in. It's like, really? What?
She just wanted to see her baby.
No.
Oh, come on.
That was a control mechanism.
But I love that because kids don't do that anymore.
Mm-mm.
I mean, every day, just because I was with a bunch of teenagers for 5 days.
Yeah.
Those are relaxing vacations. Every time I'd walk, how are your phones doing, boys? Let's get off those phones. Let's go for a hike. Let's go cliff jumping. Yeah. Let's go shooting. Let's just do this or that.
Wait. Back that up. Back that train up. You said, let's go what?
Shooting.
No. You said jumping from what?
Cliff jumping.
Yeah, okay. No. Not doing it.
Hiking.
No. I do that.
We did the Narrows. We put on the boots and I just let's enjoy nature. Yeah. And they really did.
I get all that, but jumping off a cliff into a body of water,
it's cliff jumping is the best.
Okay.
Did you see? I posted a picture of the cliff I jumped off of.
I did. Yeah. You white people.
Stop it. It's okay to jump off a cliff.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Can you read this email for me?
Of course. Jeez, I wish they could do something for your eyesight.
Me too. But you heard what they said. There's nothing we can do.
When vision loss can't be corrected with glasses or surgery, and hope seems lost, turn to Spectrios Institute for Low Vision. Spectrios doctors specialize in the treatment of vision loss related to eye diseases, such as macular degeneration, glaucoma, and diabetic retinopathy. There is hope, supported by science with personalized rehabilitation plans, occupational therapies, and access technology at At Spectrios, talk to a patient service manager. They'll walk you through the program. Spectrios takes BCBS and Medicare insurance. They also have grants for qualifying patients and offer a Seeing is Believing children's outreach program. Go to spectrios.org, located in Wheaton in a building that says it all, the House of Hope. That's spectrios.org. Spectrios Institute, the head, heart, and eyes approach to better vision. Remember to keep Spectrios Institute, a 501c, in your estate or legacy planning.
Quick delivery service. What do you need delivered today?
Hi, I'm trying to work through a last-minute to-do list for my boss. Can you deliver a hard drive to the Loop in Chicago?
We can deliver that today.
Okay, can you deliver 20 boxes to a client in Rockford?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver 12 pallets of tile to our customer in Naperville?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver a large envelope to Northbrook?
We can deliver that today.
Oh my gosh, I think my water just broke. Can you...
We cannot deliver that.
Quick Delivery Service delivers your package no matter the size. More than just a messenger service, Quick Delivery Service is a messenger and trucking service that can also provide scheduled routes for your daily delivery or your air shipment. Trucks are equipped to handle the load and provide ground-level service for same-day delivery. The Quick Delivery Service team of safe, licensed professionals can provide quick door-to-door service for your special delivery. QuickDelivery.com. That's QuickDelivery.com. We deliver that today. But we don't deliver this.
For over 10 years, the award-winning KWCC Construction has been building a better future, locally and throughout the Midwest, constructing with detailed planning and execution, completing projects safely, timely, and with transparency. If you've ever visited the Wilder Park Promenade along the Riverwalk in Aurora or driven past the recently revitalized Copley Hospital, you're looking at the quality construction of KWCC. Maybe you've seen the adaptive reuse of 80 South River Street in downtown Aurora, which now includes residences and businesses that have revitalized the area. No matter the project, KWCC Construction offers services from indoors to outdoors, conception to completion. In fact, KWCC was recognized as 2022's Best Project in Landscape and Urban Development. Highly recommended. A general contracting company you can count on. That's KWCC. To request a proposal for your project, visit kwccinc.com. That's kwccinc.com.
Research Institute is seeking a principal mechanical engineer to be responsible for screening emerging technologies, demonstrating products and services in pilot projects, and transitioning findings into inventive measures for natural gas and electric utility clientele. Candidates must possess a master's degree in mechanical engineering with a thesis or comparable research publication in the field of energy, thermodynamics, or fluids. 2 years experience with instrumentation and data acquisition systems for field demonstrations and audits. Analytical assessments and modeling of energy-saving technologies for residential, commercial, or industrial buildings, including HVAC and heat recovery. And project management. And 1 year experience in utility energy efficiency programs focused on Illinois or California, including development and execution of pilot studies and work paper development. Experience may be concurrent. Must have permanent U.S. work authorization. Direct inquiries to Amber Carter, Human Resources, at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With HalfPriceSchools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, HalfPriceSchools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child, too. Just go to HalfPriceSchools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit HalfPriceSchools.com. That's HalfPriceSchools.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Democrats divided. Some are urging Biden to exit the race. You'll hear from them, even a local congressman who wants him out, and others are flip-flopping. It's a hot mess over there. And then later, I wish they had this one. I got divorced. A new way to support loved ones, divorce registries. You know, you have registries for your wedding. Register for a divorce. We'll explain. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
2 people, including a tow truck driver, were killed in a shootout on the far south side. There's a boil water order issued for parts of the south side. WIND Chicago News Time, 6.
It's in the best interest of democracy. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. That's why New Jersey House Democrat Mikey Sherrill says President Biden should end his campaign and help someone else beat former President Trump in November. She's the 7th House Democrat to say so publicly. There have been more vocal supporters of the president, though, and the president today attends the NATO summit in D.C.
NATO leaders have gathered here in Washington for a summit to mark 75 years of the alliance. It's also an opportunity for President Biden to try and show the world and voters here in the United States that he has what it takes to be commander-in-chief and run for re-election.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson in D.C. Former President Trump holds a rally with supporters in Doral, Florida, and challenges President Biden to another debate this week.
I'm also officially challenging Cricket Joe to an 18-hole golf match right here.
A campaign spokesperson for the president says Joe Biden doesn't have time for Donald Trump's weird antics. He's busy leading America and defending the free world. At least 25 people are reported killed by an airstrike in southern Gaza.
The airstrike hit the entrance to a school that was being used as a shelter. According to a hospital spokesperson, the dead included at least 7 women and children. Israel blames civilian deaths on Hamas because the militants fight in urban areas and accuses them of hiding among ordinary Palestinians. Earlier airstrikes in central Gaza killed over a dozen people. And in the north, as tanks push into Gaza City, Israeli warplanes and drones are accused by at least one resident of striking anything moving. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Las Vegas, Nevada forecast for a city record 5 straight days with over 115-degree heat. 94 today in Houston, Texas. 1.7 million homes and businesses in Texas are on a third day without power since Hurricane Beryl. At least 2 people have died of carbon monoxide poisoning from improper generator use. America's listening to Fox News.
66 degrees. At 6:02 on AM 560, The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 2 are killed, including a tow truck driver, after a shootout on the far south side early this morning. Chicago police say they responded to the 11,000 block of South Low around 2:30. They found a 59-year-old man operating that tow truck shot in the head. A 45-year-old man who was shot multiple times was later transported to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, later pronounced dead. A boil water order has been issued for parts of Chicago's South Side this morning. The boil order in place because of a leak on a high-pressure water main inside the Roseland pumping station. So people in neighborhoods like Beverly, Morgan Park, Auburn, Gresham being advised to boil that water for at least 5 minutes before consuming it. The leak has been repaired. Right now, it's not clear when the boil order will be lifted. A Chicago woman who killed her landlord and dismembered her body at an apartment in West Rogers Park will be sentenced next month. She was originally supposed to be sentenced on June 26. However, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office is now scheduled that sentencing date for this morning. Sandra Kalalu was convicted by a Cook County jury on all counts, including first-degree murder and concealment of homicide in the death of Francis Walker. A man convicted of killing Chicago police officer Ella French could now face sentencing in September. Imonte Morgan's defense attorneys filed a motion for a new trial, judge saying she will hear arguments September 11th and could rule that same day. Morgan was found guilty in March of the murder of Chicago police officer Ella French and critically wounding her partner, Officer Carlos Yanez. Cubs rattle off 14 hits in a 9-2 win over Baltimore. White Sox rained out Sox and Twins with a double dip later tonight. Argentina blanked Canada 2-0 in Copa America. The other semifinal today, Uruguay and Colombia. The news a service of Blue Stars Security. Support our police and hire the police to personally protect you and your business. Visit online at bluestarsecurityllc.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dr. Sebastian Gorka sees good things.
The reality is they're losing control of the nation and your capacity to swallow the garbage they're trying to promote. It's a good thing, but only if you get engaged. Because in 4 months' time, if not you, then who? If not now, then when?
America First with Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Afternoons at 3, right before Sean Thompson at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Chicagoland. When was the last time you had an absolutely fantastic meal out? I mean a truly delicious, fine dining experience where you savored every bite? This is the kind of experience you can expect at Region Kitchen and Bar in Barrington, home of some of the finest quality regional American food in the northwestern suburbs. Chef David Perlick, who's an avid supporter of Tunnel to Towers and AM 560, is very passionate about pleasing palates with juicy USDA prime steak, flown in, fresh seafood, and an amazing array of house-made desserts. Also, craft cocktails that are said to be the best in the area. Region's atmosphere pairs well with the mouth-watering food. Picture a swanky yet relaxing environment with tufted velvet bats, Wisconsin birch accents, white leather, and super comfy dining chairs. Ready to enjoy? Carpe diem and go to regionrestaurant.com. Make your reservation or stop in just 2 miles west of downtown Barrington on Route 14. Region Kitchen and Bar, regionrestaurant.com.
So good. That restaurant is so good. 66 degrees at 6:06, and let's get an update on the roads now, 6:07. And on the Kennedy on the outbound side, if you're heading to the big airport, you're diverted off at Canfield right now. A fatal accident being investigated between Canfield and I-190 as you head to O'Hare. It's our big problem spot of the morning. The Ike outbound still bottled up, left lane blocked between 17th and Manheim. So you're traveling outbound on the Ike right now, 22 to Manheim. Stevenson inbound stop and go Cicero to Kedzie. Rollover accident, right lane blocked on the outbound Stevenson. You're delayed between the Dan Ryan all the way out to Ashland. Traffic is service of Crosscom Public Adjusters. If your home or business has an insurance claim, Crosscom will help you get what you need and have coming to you. They've helped thousands. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
A flood watch is in effect for today. Some rain from tropical rainstorm Burrow this morning, otherwise cloudy. High today 78. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 64. Partly sunny, humidity tomorrow, the high 81. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 66 degrees, light rain showers. Next news at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony in for Dan Proft.
Hey.
Well, Dan is hitting the little white ball.
Yeah.
He's up north. He said yesterday what club he was going to, but I can't keep it straight. Dan, do you remember, Mike, where he's going in Michigan?
I think he is up at the Merritt Club.
Oh, that's
in
right.
Lake County
Oh.
for a member guest, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yesterday he was at in Oak Brook Country Club.
Oak Park.
Yeah, he texted a
Country
picture
Club.
or tweeted a picture.
Yeah, that's a little creepy, Dan. Watch out.
Isn't that, you know what? Can we talk about that for a second? Did you see the tweet? I'm going to show it to you because
I saw.
Well, he was promoting one of the caddies
Oh,
and
yeah,
hoping that she gets a scholarship.
The Evans Scholarship.
Yeah,
which
the
is
Evans
handed out to
Scholarship.
caddies,
Yes. And I think my dad got that too. He was a caddy.
Really?
Say a prayer for St. Ignatius High School senior Grace, who's going for the Evans Scholarship. Good caddy, surviving caddy for me at Oak Park Country Club today. Should make her a shoo-in. But the picture of Dan, he needs a haircut. Are we going to have an intervention? Did you see the picture?
Yeah.
His ass got long, though.
He looks like Billy Ray's cousin, you know?
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah. He might.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, you know what?
Like,
That's not a bad. That's not a
creepy.
bad. He does look like Billy Ray.
And he's got the scar in his mouth. Like,
Yeah. He
hey,
does
she
look
better
like
win this
Billy Ray.
scholarship or else. Arg.
Or it could look like he's just 18 holes in and he's just like, I'm gassed.
Boy, those guys that support the Evans Scholars, though, they are tremendous. Tremendous. That caddy scholarship. They have houses at Illinois, Purdue,
Yep.
Northwestern, all over the place. It's a tremendous way for kids to get big time rides to schools that they probably don't deserve to have a caddy as good as that going to it.
And guess what? Being a caddy, you have to be on time.
Uh-oh.
You have to get there before the
You've
before
gotta
the tea
hustle.
time,
You
and you have
gotta
to hustle
to grab those bags.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Gotta know
Unless
what
you're a
doing.
minority now.
Oh, that's
you don't
right.
Have to be on
It's
time.
racist to be on
CP
time.
time is the Dennis Rebelletti, I told you, CP time. And see, Dennis practices CP time.
Oh, he does?
You know, he's the former state rep.
Right. Yes, that's true. All right. Moving on to D.C. Yesterday, there was 2 closed-door meetings, one in the morning with House Democratic leaders and then with the Senate. Everybody, at the Senate level, nobody talked to reporters. Hakeem Jeffries snuck out the back door.
Oh.
Yep. Uh-huh. And a few are holding strong, wanting Biden to quietly, respectfully exit the race, one being my Congressman, Mike Quigley.
I do believe we need to make a change and that we need to make it before the Democratic convention.
What I was stressed to the president is this isn't just about you. It's not about loyalty. It's about being pragmatic. We have to be honest with ourselves. It's not just the White House at stake.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Other Congress people who want him to gracefully exit the race. Rahul Grijalva, he's from Tucson. I actually know him. Angela Craig, Adam Smith, and others. And Adam Smith just keeps saying Joe must go.
Well, look, I think he should step aside. I think it's become clear that he's not the best person to carry the Democratic message. And here's the thing. We have an incredibly strong message and record to run on. To tax poor people, we got a good message. The president has shown he is not capable of delivering that message in an effective way. And so many missed opportunities were out there. And we want to deliver an effective message. And then there are the healthcare concerns. And look, a lot of Democrats are saying, well, let's move on. Let's stop talking about it. We're not the ones who are bringing it up. We're not the ones who said anytime, any place. And only Joe Biden was on that stage with Donald Trump. Our constituents are bringing it up. The country is bringing it up. And the White House, campaign strategy of be quiet and fall in line and let's ignore it simply isn't working right now.
But that's the way it's going to be. Even Jerry Nadler, who at first was on a call reportedly with Quigley, with Grijalva and others, and Hakeem Jeffries. And now he's changed his mind.
Before you play the audio.
Yes, sir.
You don't think the media was on that call and got a recording of that call? They know what's going on. The media, I guarantee you, the media always finds themselves on those so-called calls.
Well, here is Jerry Nadler, who's very reluctantly supporting President Biden. I mean, this guy, did you see the video?
No, I didn't.
I mean, he really does not want to be supporting Biden. You can hear it in his voice and just listen for the dramatic pauses.
The president made very clear yesterday that he's running, and for me that's dispositive. We have to support him.
Do you have concerns about Biden? Do you have concerns about him being on the top of the ticket?
Whether I have concerns or not, is beside the point. He's going to be our nominee, and we all have to support him.
That was a pretty long pause when you were asked about concerns. What are your concerns about President Biden being at the top of the ticket right now?
I think he has shown that the concerns we've had as a result of the debate. My concern really is that he could have another bad debate performance.
And the debate is September 10th.
Yeah.
Trump's sentencing is 9/18, 8 days later, because they moved it.
Right.
Which is also very peculiar. And we'll talk to Ed Morrissey about that later on in the program, because everything happens for a reason. Everything is planned. Everything is orchestrated between the White House and the media.
And Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget him.
And Jill Biden. Yeah. Well, I don't know about Jill. No, Jill's just selfish and ready to go. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Let's go to Bob in Buffalo Grove. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer, our favorite engineer.
Thank you, Amy. Good to hear from you and to see you back in the studio, and good to hear you, John. It's always good to see you at various wind events.
Thank you.
Believe it or not, Amy and I live miles apart but have the same congressman.
Oh, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Because of gerrymandering, we have the same. My sister and I have the same conversation. She's near Lake Grove or Lake Cook Road, and I'm in the city. It's crazy.
Okay. With regards to Quigley, and I'm thinking of others, will Trump have any coattails? I'm wondering if any of these congressmen are trying to get distance from Biden. You know, Dan's not in the way in, but maybe later he will into the future. But with regards to how much Trump is leading, it's a long shot with Quigley, my former Congressman Raja, and I also still get messages from Schneider. It's amazing in my district how many times I've been gerrymandered out.
Wow.
But
well, you've had all those Congress people, and you've lived in the same house.
Yep.
Wow.
So I'm just wondering if any of these congressmen are just trying to divorce themselves from Biden. There's not any. I mean, most of the districts are either heavily Democratic or heavily Republican. But it'll be interesting with regard to Quigley. Is he trying to distance himself from Biden? And then the other ones locally here, and maybe Dan will weigh into it into the future, is Caston and Underwood.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to distance themselves from Biden ever. They're going to go along. And I was surprised to see a little pushback from Quigley, because he's normally one of those get along type of Congress people. So thanks, Bob, for the phone call. Appreciate it.
No, I'm not trying to hear it. Thank you. I'm not trying to hear it. This has not been a secret. You know, everybody, even Stevie Wonder, I heard Brandon Tatum say, could have saw that Biden's decline. Go back and look at the clips from 2020.
Oh, he
and
was
look at him for now.
Because when you're a president, that position ages you, but it really has taken a toll on Biden. And yesterday on NBC, neurologist, Parkinson's specialist, Dr. Tom Pitts, talked about Biden's movement. So when you get diagnosed with Parkinson's, there's not a blood test you take. There's not an MRI you take. They give you a smell test. They, if you're walking, if you have mobility issues, you either have ALS, a brain tumor, or Parkinson's.
Right.
And so you get diagnosed, again, not by a blood test or an x-ray, by there's a smell test because a lot of lose their scent. They'll put coffee beans under your nose.
Well,
and
now
if you
that's COVID,
can't,
though.
Pardon?
Now that's COVID.
Stop it. Long COVID. They do that, a smell test, and then there's mobility tests that they give you.
Yeah.
And so neurologists are weighing in. And this is, by the way, Dr. Tom Pitts is a Democrat.
Voice. Wait, go back to that, the rigidity. What do you mean? Rigidity, loss of arm swing, standing up lordically. You notice when he turns, it's kind of end block turning. It's not a quick turn. So that's one of the hallmarks of Parkinson's is rigidity and bradykinesia, slow movement. And he has that hallmark, especially with the low voice that said was a cold, hypophonia. A small monotone voice like this over time is a hallmark of Parkinsonism. I could have diagnosed him from across the mall.
Ooh.
And they know it. The Democrats know it.
Oh, they do. And that's, that's a bit of a problem. So you've got back to the convention. There was talk, could there be a brokered convention allowing delegates in D.C. to make a change before Governor Pritzker yesterday said, oh, no, this is going to be orderly. Don't worry.
I think it would be different for for everybody that would be attending. But again, I don't expect that to happen. We're going to have an orderly convention.
Yeah, everything will be fine. And he's still all in for Joe.
Yeah. I'm not engaging in any hypotheticals. You can see that I'm all in for Joe Biden.
Amy, do you realize the reason why they can't replace him? They cannot replace him if they're going to replace him with somebody other than Kamala. They do that. All those Soros out there, all those black women out there, they will either stay home or vote for Trump.
Oh,
you are not moving.
Yes, if
away
Kamala
from
Harris, if they go with somebody else, that would deeply. I mean, in your opinion,
decimate them.
It would kill the black vote, right?
It would decimate the Democrat Party will be decimated. But that needs to happen. I'm sorry. Listen, black people, you want to gain power in politics? Stop voting primarily for Democrats and start shifting your vote for Republicans. Make them earn it. But there's a big difference in policy in how things are done in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. You're a victim. As long as you're a victim in the Democrat Party, you're okay. But when you want to get out there and you want to make some real money and push the agenda for it in policy and stop worrying about, all these, because all they all do, think about it, Amy. What has the Democrat Party ever really done for black people? What have they done?
I don't know.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Look at the communities. The communities show for themselves what they've done. Nothing. They take you for granted, and you continue to vote for them, sending them back to wherever the halls of power that be. That has to change. You want to see America make a comeback? You want to see America great again? Allow all these different people who vote for these Democrat politicians throughout the country, because they're shifting. DuPage, I'm talking about this, even counties like DuPage, Kane, Will, Lake, shift. Cook County, shift. You want to see real power? Shift how you vote. And then I'm telling you, now they got to earn your vote. This is why this is the influx of the illegal immigrant, because they understand that black people are waking up and they have to have a replacement vote. That's what's really happening with this. That's another part of what's happening with this illegal immigration push.
312-642-5600. And now last night, President Biden, after, they had the big NATO summit, it was the 70-year anniversary. We'll get to his speech real quickly, but in a second, But last night he also had a virtual meeting with Democratic mayors, including Mayor Johnson.
Right.
Please try. Please. Influencing that. But so Biden, of course, tried to take attention away from his health questions. And here he is at NATO. Listen to this. Does this convince you that this man is stable and ready to go and you trust him with the nuclear codes?
To end Ukraine's democracy, to destroy Ukraine's culture, and to wipe Ukraine off the map. Even before Russian bombs were falling in Ukraine, the alliance acted. I ordered the U.S. reinforcements at NATO's eastern flank. The United States, Germany, the Netherlands, Romania, and Italy will provide Ukraine with the equipment for 5 additional strategic air defense systems.
What?
And key, remember, fellas and ladies, it was supposed to fall in 5 days, remember? I'm pleased to award you the highest civilian honor the United States can bestow, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Ask the military to come forward.
Wow.
Do you understand a word of what he said?
Verbal judo that was going on right there.
Whew, even it's so bad that even George Stephanopoulos says that Biden's not up for 4 more years. He was caught. He was out for a jog. God, he's a tiny man.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yes.
He's shorter than Rahm Emanuel.
Yes.
But he was out for a jog, and somebody from TMZ asked him about, his interview with Biden and what he thinks.
Hey, excuse me. Hey, how you doing? Good. What do you think? Do you think Biden should step down? You talked to him more than anybody else have lately, and you could be honest. You don't think he can serve 4 more years? All right, that's an answer.
He said, I don't think he could serve 4 more years.
I don't either.
Well, this morning, there has been an apology issued.
Oh.
George Stephanopoulos, ABC News, said his opinion does not reflect the opinion of our news organization.
Wow.
Because he didn't know that he was from TMZ. Please.
You said it, so it's
And
out
I said
there
it,
now. That's
so
how
he
you feel.
feels it. 312-642-5600. Let's go to Glenn in Orlando. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm joining Kamala Harris's team, and our campaign statement will be Kamala Harris 2024. She's a no-brainer.
Hey, yo. I know. I mean, I just got to play a highlight of Kamala Harris. Unburden the burdened of the burden.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know?
What can be unburdened by what has been. 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 What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
I'm doing my Tony Stark. I'm trying to take it apart, disseminate what she's saying.
Passage of time.
And talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Whoa.
Wow. Deep thoughts.
That's where you need that clip. That was the most. You remember that clip from what was it? When the guy what he said that was the I award you no points. That's when you need that audio clip right there. Oh my!
You want her meeting with world leaders?
Oh, that's what Trump said. Imagine these guys are tough. Did you hear his leaked audio clip?
Oh yeah.
Trump?
Oh no,
Yeah.
we played that.
Yeah.
When he was golfing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, John in Portage Park. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. My gripe is that I don't like when people call Kamala Harris an African-American woman. Her people are from Jamaica and from India.
Yeah, her mom's Indian. Yep.
And I happen to know, 3 or 4 Jamaicans, and you just might get a knife in your liver if you confuse them with a
No, he's
black.
not lying.
Oh,
He's
okay.
not
Oh,
lying.
really?
He is not lying.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
I have a lot of Jamaican friends, and they always tell, don't call me black. I'm not black. I'm Jamaican, man. Don't call me black. I'm Jamaican. That's what they tell me. And I'm telling you, the ADOS, Americans of the I forget the acronym. I'll remember it in the break. But they're the same way. If you're not American with African descent, if your people didn't come over in the slave ships, don't call yourself black.
All right.
That's what that's not me saying that. This is what people have said.
Joe in Schaumburg. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, first of all, that clip you played on Kamala, that sounds like she's talking in a 1960s drugged out dream. But the main reason I was calling is because, our federal government, the FAA, already has a rule in place that if you are over the age of 65, you cannot fly a commercial aircraft.
Right.
And there's a reason for that. And all these people who make this comment about age and it's ageist, we already have policies like that in our federal government for a reason, but it doesn't apply to a guy who has the nuclear codes, who's clearly incoherent. Joe Biden would never be allowed to fly a commercial aircraft. He'd be dismissed because they do tests like that for a good reason. But, I wanted to add that because it's a lot of hyperbole on this discussion about the age, and yet there's a lot of facts, a lot of professions that don't let somebody his age do important jobs. So thanks for allowing
Joe.
me to be on the air.
And I wanted to play this too because Peter Ducey was skipped yesterday at the press conference. I mean, she just answered every question, would not take a question from him. He asked her yesterday, Biden goes to bed at 8. It's very important. He has to be in bed by 8. So what happens if something happens after 8 p.m.?
Well, he also said he's sharpest before 8 p.m.
Sharpest.
So say that the Pentagon at some point picks up an incoming nuke. It's 11 p.m. Who do you call? The First Lady?
He has a team that lets him know of any news that is pertinent and important to the American people. He has someone that is decided, obviously, with his National Security Council on who gets to tell him that news.
I didn't vote in anybody on his team.
Yeah.
You voted for him.
Yeah.
Who's on his team?
Hey.
Who are these people? Who are they?
Yeah. That 3 a.m. wake-up call.
Lord help us.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Hi, I'm Donna, and I love taking Balance of Nature. It makes me feel sparkly every single day. It's just an amazing product.
I'm Rick. I'm in the best shape of my life. I play a lot of golf. I work out and ride my bike. I'm 63 and I can still almost hit a golf ball 300 yards. I mean, when I'm in the gym, I can do 90-pound dumbbells. That's what I did when I was young. As long as I'm living, I'll keep taking my Balance of Nature.
Splash into your summer with Balance of Nature's summer savings. Go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 50% off your first set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Don't miss out. This offer is only available while supplies last. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this limited-time offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
If you're purchasing or selling a home, call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Today, meet Chris, first-time homebuyer who called Rocket Mortgage. Bad move. Rocket's online lender didn't return Chris's calls, so she contacted Rocket's recommended realtor, who was equally as worthless. Chris called me for help because she was overwhelmed. I answered Chris's questions and put her mind at ease. How many of these stories do you have to hear? I've been originating loans for nearly 24 years and always look out for my borrower's best interest. If you're buying or selling a home, I'm your guy. I'll help you secure a new mortgage, and my experienced realtors will help you locate a new home or sell your existing one. Stop wasting your time working with online lenders and inexperienced realtors who don't know what they're doing. Call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. 855-563-2843 or 56david.com. Lower.com, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1124061.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we'll focus on some local races and also a baby bonus in Baltimore might not be what you think it is. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
6:32 on AM 560, The Answer. Rain showers and 66. As you are traveling on the outbound Kennedy this morning, you will find that it is entirely shut down between Canfield and I-190 as you head toward O'Hare. All traffic is diverted off at Canfield now because of confirmation of a fatal accident being investigated there. The suspected shooter at Yellowstone National Park threatened violence on a larger scale. The park explaining this morning Lucas Fusner had plans to carry out a mass shooting during Independence Day events outside the park. He was holding a woman against her will when rangers found him with a gun last week and killed him in a shootout. After kicking off this week's NATO summit, marking the 75th anniversary of the alliance, President Biden will officially welcome NATO to D.C. today.
NATO leaders have gathered here in Washington for a summit to mark 75 years of the alliance. It's also an opportunity for President Biden to try and show the world and voters here in the United States that he has what it takes to be commander-in-chief and run for re-election. Biden kicked things off by presenting the outgoing NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, speaking at a rally outside Miami, former President Donald Trump claimed he would end the war on Ukraine after taking office. Biden claimed he shut Putin down in that ABC interview. Before the NATO summit, Russia launched a cruise missile strike on Ukraine, including hitting a children's hospital.
The president will also hold his first talks with the new British Prime Minister. Former President Donald Trump teasing Florida Senator Marco Rubio as his potential running mate. Rubio addressed the crowd at Trump's rally in Florida Tuesday, Trump making multiple references to Rubio throughout his speech.
You ever hear Biden? He's a threat to democracy. He doesn't even know what the hell the term is. Trump is a threat to democracy. This guy. Low IQ. He's a low IQ individual. But they're lying in the entire world that Joe Biden's condition.
Prosecutors have finished closing arguments in the corruption trial of New Jersey Democrat Senator Bob Menendez. The defense will begin its summations. 2 people, including a tow truck driver, were killed in a shootout on the far south side. Chicago police said this morning they responded to the 11,000 block of South Low around 2:30 a.m. They found the 59-year-old man operating a tow truck shot in the head and pronounced dead at the scene. 45-year-old man who was also shot multiple times was transported to Christ Hospital and was later pronounced dead as well. A boil order has been issued for parts of Chicago's south side this morning. The boil order because of a leaking high-pressure water main inside the Roseland pumping station. So neighborhoods like Beverly, Morgan Park, and Auburn Gresham are being advised to boil their water for at least 5 minutes before consuming it. Chicago sports, Cubs a 9-2 win over Baltimore, while the Sox and Twins were rained out. They'll have a double dip later on today. The news, a service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, a Chicagoland tradition for over 5 generations. Choose Papa Nicholas Coffee because great coffee is their family tradition. Online at papanicholas.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Sean Thompson Show.
Who are these idiots in a room chanting 4 more years? Well, these are some of the cohorts of corruption. And the saddest part is they don't have to be the ones who are actually the profiteer, the welfare recipients who exist only because this party is willing to openly buy votes. And I thought it was fascinating last night. Truly, absolutely fascinating. But what to me was astonishing is the excuse. Did he have a cold? Is it herpes? What exactly does he have?
The Sean Thompson Show. Weekday afternoons at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
You've worked hard and accumulated wealth, but you know the pitfalls involved in passing significant assets to your heirs. The team at Spahn Financial will help you feel secure with personalized financial planning to achieve your legacy goals. They anticipate and manage all your wealth planning needs and focus on the full financial picture, including tax efficiency, income distribution throughout retirement, philanthropic giving, estate planning, and more. They even help you prepare the next generation to be good stewards. Kevin Spahn is a 2024 Forbes Best in State Wealth Advisor and Barron's Top 1200 Financial Advisor. Visit SpahnFinancial.com to schedule a consultation and to view disclosures. That's SPAHMFinancial.com. Forbes Best in State Wealth Advisors List, April 2024. Data as of 6/30/2023. Barron's Top 1200 Financial Advisors List, March 2024. Data as of 9/30/2023. No compensation provided for ratings. Marketing fees apply to promote ratings.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Hi, I'm Donna, and I love taking Balance of Nature. It makes me feel sparkly every single day. It's just an amazing product.
I'm Rick. I'm in the best shape of my life. I play a lot of golf. I work out and ride my bike. I'm 63 and I can still almost hit a golf ball 300 yards. I mean, when I'm in the gym, I can do 90-pound dumbbells. That's what I did when I was young. As long as I'm living, I'll keep taking my Balance of Nature.
Splash into your summer with Balance of Nature's summer savings. Go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 50% off your first set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Don't miss out. This offer is only available while supplies last. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this limited time offer by using discount code Chicago.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
6:38. A check on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, a service of Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms, discover.com/credit card. Kennedy inbound right now is an hour and 5 minutes coming into the Burn Circle interchange. You're delayed between Damon and Armitage due to an earlier accident, car into the wall. Outbounders, you're diverted off at Canfield from that earlier fatal accident that remains in the cleanup stage. Outbound Ike, earlier accident, slowing things up between Harlem and Mannheim Road. Delays on the Dan Ryan in 35 as you travel from 95th into the Circle. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Rain through the morning, cloudy later, high 78, clear to partly cloudy and 64 overnight. Light rain across the area this morning, 67 at O'Hare, 67 in Aurora, 65 in Kankakee. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
All right. Second time's a charm. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Propp.
Hey.
We welcome back to the program because we want to get straight to it. Michelle Hunter, she's a lawyer, author, entrepreneur who's active in her community. We profiled you in 2022 when you ran as state rep for the 54th District, and you're doing it again, challenging incumbent Mary Beth Canty. We'll get to that.
That's correct. Thank you.
She has a record now. We know what she stands for.
She absolutely does. And it's such a pleasure to be here this morning. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So tell us, first of all, the 54th District.
Yes.
Because everything changes.
Everything changes.
You know, we had one of our listeners, Bob, in Buffalo Grove. He's had 3 different congressmen, and he's lived in the same house.
That's exactly right. I mean, in 2022, everything was changed. The lines were gerrymandered to such a degree that people are very confused, and that's by design. My district, 54, is now the northern half of Arlington Heights. Euclid's pretty much the divider. It does snake around the downtown a little bit. And then all of Prospect Heights, a little bit of Buffalo Grove, and a little bit of Palatine.
Wow. So what are you doing differently this time around than you did in 2022 to get out the vote?
That's absolutely right. This is 2024 is obviously a presidential year. That helps right there just to get people to the polls. But our strategy this time around is not just swing voters and persuadables. We are absolutely getting out the vote for Republicans. Had Republicans voted in 2022, I would have won.
Wow.
It's that different. We are absolutely strategizing to knock those doors as well because Republicans need to show up to the polls. This is a epic election. It's critical. We need to take back the district.
And now this is former Representative Tom Morrison's seat, right?
It is.
He occupied it. Now, and that was one of the most Republican seats. Did they gerrymander it that bad to where a Democrat can win? And how many votes did you lose by in the last election?
That's what they did. I had 15,000 votes the first time in 2022 for a no name. You know, I'm an outsider. I'm only running because I care. It sounds corny. That is the only reason.
Well,
I'm
I know
running
you do.
for
I
public
know
service.
You. So.
Yes. Yeah. And so, you know, this time around, it's a very different year because it's a presidential year. Also, last time it was an open seat.
Right.
This time she has a voting record.
Yeah.
So now we have great ammunition against her. She portrayed herself as a moderate. She is anything but. You know what? She stands for everything but the American flag.
Well, tell us some of the things.
Yeah, because I know my sister's a teacher, and they're pushing tampons in the boys'
bathrooms.
Well, it's a state law.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's actually happening because she's making it happen.
Yeah, and who's paying for that? Besides the fact that it's confusing for children and just a ridiculous thing.
Well,
Who's
boys
paying for
don't get
that?
their periods.
No, boys. No, not last time I checked. Is that even a possibility? It's ridiculous.
I've never had
Well,
one.
it's in middle school. We're talking middle school, where
talking
some people
middle
haven't
school.
even had the sex ed.
Yes.
Sex or the talk.
Or the talk.
And they're probably wondering what these little white rocket ships are doing. And
And you know what they're doing with them? They're playing with them.
Right.
They're like pasting them on
Yeah.
walls. They're
Using them for nosebleeds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and of course, it's like they're not using them.
Oh my God.
It's just ridiculous. And she's also for the American flag and teaching children about that in school. She's against all of that.
Yeah.
She is for Soviet-styled government-owned grocery stores in Southern Illinois. What is she doing for
I'm curious.
this? Yeah.
Where did she stand on the budget? Did she vote for the budget, or was she one of the people that didn't?
Well, we know the budget is in a
51
in a
billion?
shambles. Yeah, 51 billion. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's in a shambles. We've got to have a real budget, but everything she votes for and everything she does will raise taxes because it's always unfunded mandates.
Correct.
Whether it's mandatory kindergarten having to be offered in schools, whether it's these, like I said, Soviet-style government-owned grocery stores in Southern Illinois. I mean,
that's not even her district.
it's
What is
not. She's done. What has she
cure?
done for this district? Not
Right.
one thing, except for a slow roll the Bears
Right.
possibly coming, which would mean
She was along with the speaker, because I know the speaker and the mayor.
Yeah, this is an $8 billion project that would lower property taxes for the district. It's barely in the districts, right on Euclid.
It's a jobs bill.
It would be such a boon for Arlington Heights. Does she care about that? No. Like I said, she cares about these, grocery stores in Southern Illinois. She cares about tampons in boys' bathrooms. She cares about kneeling for the flag. I mean,
explain that a little bit more.
well, if you go to my website, www.hunterforillinois.com.
Guess what? We don't have to say W's anymore.
You're so right. You know what? It's early in the
She
morning.
got on me before.
I just triple W. No.
She yelled at me before. So.
You're so right about that. Anyway, if you go to my website, hunterforillinois.com.
Thank you.
See, I learn fast. There is a video on there, and she's kneeling for the national anthem.
Wow.
With the
Where
Black
was
Lives
she?
Fist. It was a basketball game.
With a fist up in the air?
Yeah, across.
Okay. Help me understand where in your district that was possible.
How is that representative of
Right.
the district at all? And again,
How's that representative of an American?
Of an American
who
They're not-
appreciates this country and
No.
who loves this country.
No, she's a suburban squad member. I'm sorry, and this
Don't be
is-
sorry.
Well, this is
She's a
what-
suburban squad member.
She is a suburban squad member.
that's good.
That's what she is. And she portrayed herself when it was 2022 in an open seat because she could do that as a moderate. As middle.
Yeah.
She is progressive, radical. Anything that California or New York is doing, she votes for. She is Pritzker's puppet. Whatever he wants,
Right.
she and the squad support.
Now we know what she's done, what she's voted for. What do you stand for? Who is Michelle Hunter, and why should the people of the 54th vote for Michelle
you.
Hunter over the incumbent?
Well, first of all, I am for repealing the Safety Act and backing the blue. We need public safety. Arlington Heights has uptick of crime, and that we're seeing that in many suburbs.
Yeah.
And with this migrant crisis, it's just exploding even more.
Well, because they're in the suburbs too.
They're in the suburbs.
Because I'm out here because I have family out here, obviously, but they're not only panhandling; they're panhandling everywhere.
Everywhere.
With the I'm a refugee, and then they're holding their babies.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I can't stand that. And then
I got spat on by one.
That's right. The toddlers in the median with the refugee sign. I don't know if they're Eastern European traveling groups. That's what we used to call gypsies. We just don't know.
It's not a border issue anymore. It's a state issue. Any sanctuary state
Yeah.
is at risk.
Yeah.
I mean, we are definitely suffering that. And the other things I'm for are obviously parental rights. I wrote a children's book. I'm for sexually, not inappropriate materials for children.
Right.
I'm for a real budget. I promise if I win, when I win, every bill I propose will get rid of two other ones. I'm for less government. I come from a business background. I am pro-business. I want to attract businesses here instead of seeing them flee. And we are not a competitive state when it comes to anything. And again, with the Bears and any other, business, Boeing, whoever leaves, it's like we need to attract business here. We're the hub of the country.
Yeah,
we have natural resources
I'll
here.
tell you this: prepare to be heartbroken because going down to Springfield trying to reform it, change it. It's
Well,
one of
yeah,
the hardest.
John Anthony, in
I
case you
served
don't
there.
know.
You
he's
did?
state rep.
Oh, yes.
It's one of the hardest things to do, especially when there are 74 Democrats
Yeah.
and 40 something or whatever the number is,
Yeah.
and then
Super
40
minority.
something Democrats in the Senate and 19 Republicans in the Senate.
Yep.
It's hard to push through, but what I'll tell you, one of the things that you might want to do, go down there, watch and learn.
Yeah.
Watch and learn.
Absolutely.
And when it's time for you to make yourself known,
yeah,
do it and do it with a vengeance, and don't hold back.
That's good advice.
Because truthfully, nothing's going to change until we get out of the super minority. And the only way we get out of the super minority is for you voters that are listening is to go out and vote for people like Michelle Hunter and send her to Springfield.
Yes.
Because guess what? One less vote for a Democrat helps us, because now the Democrats actually have to talk to us. Right now, they don't have to talk to us.
That's exactly right. They don't. And we have, this is a real race in the sense that we have options now. And I think what I am noticing, door knocking, and again, that's the best way to take the pulse of anything, people are fed up. And that isn't just Republicans, that's Democrats too,
Right.
because it's too progressive, it's too radical for them.
Oh.
They're upset about it.
Right.
And so this
Progressive has ruined our lives.
it has ruined our lives. And so, and you're so right. And Republicans too, frankly, have to get out and vote.
Right.
We have got to get people to the polls. And so,
And that's what I want to.
Yeah.
What do you have a plan for early voting, mail-in ballots? I mean, are you out there getting people?
Yes.
who-
we have to ballot harvest.
Yeah.
We have to do it too.
Yeah.
It's the game. And, we can fight the game all we want. It is the reality of it. And so we're going to win that game. We're not going to.
What are you hearing from people? I mean, I know they did a poll that the average family in Wisconsin has to pay $976 more for the basket items, for insurance, for groceries, for
groceries,
gas,
yes.
everything you can imagine, energy costs, all of that. What are you hearing from people in the 54th district?
Well, that is, I would say, public safety is a top concern, but so is gas prices, egg prices, to your point, grocery stores, eating out. Families who have children getting ready for college or what have you. I mean, they're in such a crunch now. What I hear a lot is, if this doesn't change, I'm moving.
Yeah.
If this doesn't change, I'm moving. And, Tennessee is obviously a big destination for people. I think, we've got to turn it around this time. And money and budget is really top of mind when I'm knocking
Amy,
doors.
Did you guys know July 1st, the gas tax went up again, another 2 cents?
Oh, yeah.
And is that in perpetuity? I don't recall if that bill has an end date.
I
as
don't-
far as
I don't
raising
know
gas
either, but I
taxes.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Well, and then they, Pritzker's out there like, oh, we're going to slash the grocery tax. That doesn't take effect until 2026. That is not helping us
No,
now.
and that's nothing but a political move.
Because they're
obviously.
going to
Just
erase something
political
else.
posturing. Exactly.
They're going to erase something else.
Yeah, exactly.
All
When
right.
has he ever done something to help us?
HunterForIllinois.com. HunterForIllinois.com is where you can go. Again, 54th District, parts of Arlington Heights.
Yes.
All of Prospect Heights.
Correct. Part of Buffalo Grove and part of Palatine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming in, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only two good things about aging: wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part, my guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Suburban Welding and Steel is your local welding, fabricating, and repair shop where service and quality is number one. Their dedicated team of experts can repair a job on site or in their shop located in Franklin Park. They have the machinery needed to get your project completed with the craftsmanship and precision so you can get back to business. Suburban Welding and Steel Services, more than just the manufacturing industry. They also service the food industry,
heavy equipment, trucking, airports, and railroads. Walk-ins are also welcome, so if you need it welded, repaired, fabricated, or modified, Suburban Welding and Steel will do the laser cutting, machining, forming, and plate rolling for you. Or they have the materials you need in stock and ready for the purchase. And if you know a hardworking person looking for a career in the trade, Suburban Welding and Steel is looking to add to their team of experts. Visit suburbanweldingandsteel.com to see the full story on what they can do for you. suburbanweldingandsteel.com.
When you're in chronic pain, you're miserable to be around, and so are the people who have to watch you suffer. So stop it. Do something about it. Now's the time to be proactive and take care of yourself. And there's another solution other than surgery or drugs. Call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, they have a cutting-edge treatment that revitalizes your joints with your body's own healing process. So if you have arthritis or if you're in pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, back due to an injury, you need to call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation and get your life and mobility back. You know, I've been to one of their clinics. I met a few of their customers. They were smiling from ear to ear, so happy to have their mobility back, pain-free, without surgery. They have locations all across the Chicagoland area, including new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Call for a free consultation, 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955, 312-809-5955.
What if I told you you can save a baby's life for just $28? Well, it's true. Preborn is a ministry doing just that with the help of people like you by offering free ultrasound sessions to pregnant girls and women who otherwise might choose to end their pregnancy. We know that pregnant girls and women who can see their babies on ultrasound are far more likely to choose life. Your gift today can save babies' lives. Just $28 can give a mother the chance to see the truth of the baby that is growing inside her. $140 can do this for 5 girls and women. Whether you want to save one baby or 5 or hundreds, that opportunity is just a click or phone call away. Call 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. Or go online to 560theanswer.com/preborn.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors in Roselle. Summer is here, which is the ideal time to let the sunshine in and brighten up the house. Make those rooms that may appear small, dark, or dingy look better and bigger with larger windows or patio doors. Our highly skilled installers can enlarge openings if your space allows. For decades, Woodland has been transforming living spaces with Marvin windows, featuring styles ranging from modern to traditional. Marvin replacement windows and doors can also bring your backyard right into your living space. Ask us about connecting the inside to the outside. Since 1969, our professional services, along with the best products and installation, are why we are proud of our great online reviews. Need new windows now? Buy now, pay later with 0% financing for 18 months. Terms and conditions apply. Visit woodlandwindows.com and schedule an appointment today. That's woodlandwindows.com.
Did you know that high blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for mortality? In fact, 1 in 2 adults have high blood pressure. That's a 50-50 chance you are a walking time bomb. But you, not Big Pharma, can take control of your blood pressure. Don't wait before it's too late. With 120 Life. 120 Life is a blend of great tasting super fruit juices that can actually help lower your blood pressure. 120 Life is formulated with ingredients that have been shown to naturally help control high blood pressure and are endorsed by thousands of health professionals. You can try it yourself risk-free with their 2-week trial pack. Just go to 120life.com and use the code LIBERTY to save 15% and receive free shipping. They're so sure that 120 Life can noticeably lower your blood pressure in 2 weeks that they'll give you your money back if you're not completely satisfied. So you have nothing to lose but those high blood pressure numbers. Go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com. And remember to use code LIBERTY to save 15%. This is serious. This is your life we're talking about. 120 Life can help.
AM 560, The Answer.
Okay, so we have Employee of the Month, not at our station, but at the All of Salem Network.
Yeah.
And so I put in Justin Kosick as Employee of the Month. I wrote, to whom it may concern, I want to introduce you to our technical director, Justin Kosick. And here's why I think he should be Employee of the Month. In 7 years on the job, he has never overslept. He's made it to work during snowstorms, blizzard, thunderstorms, driving, rain, and hail. Besides being reliable, which is very important, he shines when he's on the board. He pays attention to our show and drops audio clips that are appropriate for the segment. Every morning, he arrives on time and cuts audio for Dan Proft. One morning, he had to cut 57 audio clips. He makes sure no swear words come across our airways. Bleeping audio is common. He loves radio, and radio loves him. Also, when we have in-studio guests, he's very personable and professional. He writes and voices a number of our pre-planned segments, like Another Reason Why Dan Proft is Single. That's Justin Voice. He's a creative genius. I'd argue he's the best technical director in all of Chicago. Blank, blank, blank is his direct supervisor. Thank you for your time and consideration. Now, if you do get Employee of the Month, Justin, you not only will get a free supply of Balance of Nature, but you'll get a $100 gift card.
Oh.
So I just wanted to tell you thank you, and I appreciate you.
I want a quarter of that, too.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, banning face masks and gaiters in Chicago. But now it is 7 a.m., WIND Chicago.
75 years standing together. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden's hosting a NATO summit in Washington, an alliance that's grown from 12 countries to 32 since its founding in 1949.
My friends, it's good that we're stronger than ever because this moment in history calls for our collective strength.
Fox's Jared Halpern.
The president says autocrats want to overturn global order, and Russian President Vladimir Putin wants Ukraine's total subjugation.
But make no mistake, Ukraine can and will stop Putin.
President Biden says the U.S. and several other NATO members are putting together a historic donation of air defense equipment for Ukraine, including Patriot surface-to-air systems.
There's a welcome handshake among the world leaders today, a working session, and a dinner at the White House. A 7th House Democrat, meantime, Mikey Sherrill from New Jersey, says publicly President Biden should end his re-election campaign. House and Senate Democrats have met privately to talk about the president's future.
House Democrats are said by caucus chair Pete Aguilar to be united on winning the House majority and beating former President Trump. Do they agree President Biden is their candidate? Aguilar says the president must show it.
Let's see the press conference. Let's see the campaign stops. Let's see all of this, because all of it is going to be necessary.
Several questions about the president's reelection were fired at Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. 3 times he gave one response.
As I've said before, I'm with Joe.
Gernal Scott, Fox News.
They're lying in the entire world of Joe Biden's condition.
Former President Trump at a rally at his golf club in Doral, Florida, challenging President Biden to another debate this week. They're scheduled to have one in September. Also, an 18-hole $1 million golf match for charity. America's listening to Fox News.
Clouds, light rain showers, 65 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 2 were killed, including a tow truck driver, in a shootout on the far south side this early morning. Police responded to the 11,000 block of South Low around 2:30 a.m. They found that 59-year-old man operating the tow shot in the head. A 45-year-old man was later transported to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, where he was later pronounced dead. A boil water order has been issued for parts of Chicago's south side this morning because of a leak in a high-pressure main So those in the Beverly, Morgan Park, and Auburn Gresham neighborhoods are being advised to boil water for at least 5 minutes before consuming it. A Chicago woman who killed her landlord and dismembered her body at an apartment in West Rogers Park will be sentenced next. She was originally supposed to be sentenced June 26. However, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office said her new sentencing date is scheduled for this morning in Cook County Criminal Court. Back in April, Sandra Kalalu was convicted by a Cook County jury on all counts in the homicide of Francis Walker. Authorities have confirmed the body of a missing Chicago pastor was found inside of a vehicle in the Des Plaines River in Will County.
We have positively identified the decedent as Warren Christopher Beard.
Will County Coroner Lori Summers says the remains of Warren Beard were located in the river yesterday near the Brandon Road Lock and Dam near Rockdale.
The vehicle was found approximately 250 feet to the south of where the locks went in.
Beard was last seen July 2nd. His family says he had been visiting friends in Joliet. He worked as an assistant pastor at New Israelite Missionary Baptist Church on the south side.
But we got our answer today, and it's a painful answer. And then his last words was I said, he said, "Man, Rev, I love you." I said, "I love you too, bro." And he hung up the phone.
His disappearance remains under investigation by Chicago police. Cubs over the Orioles 9-2 last night. Home runs for Michael Busch and Ian Happ. A double dip today for the Sox and Twins after yesterday's rainout. Quarterfinal action in the men's and women's singles at Wimbledon. 3-seed Carlos Alcaraz defeated 12-seeded American Tommy Pohl in 4 sets. The news, a service of Quick Delivery Service. When you need reliable same-day delivery to clients, Quick Delivery will customize a logistics plan to pick it up and move it safely to its destination. Get a quote at quickdelivery.com. We'll have a check of traffic and weather coming up next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is preparing for what's next.
They know it's over for Joe Biden. It is completely and unequivocally finished. So now the question becomes, who's it going to be? And now we have to consider the fact that whoever they put in there to replace Biden could perform better against Trump.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
For over 10 years, the award-winning KWCC Construction has been building a better future locally and throughout the Midwest, constructing with detailed planning and execution, completing projects safely, timely, and with transparency. If you've ever visited the Wilder Park Promenade along the Riverwalk in Aurora or driven past the recently revitalized Copley Hospital, you're looking at the quality construction of KWCC. Maybe you've seen the adaptive reuse of 80 South River Street in downtown Aurora, which now includes residences and businesses that have revitalized the area. No matter the project, KWCC Construction offers services from indoors to outdoors, conception to completion. In fact, KWCC was recognized as 2022's Best Project Inc.com.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads now. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this update is a service of Windy City Safes. What are you doing to keep your most prized possessions safe? Windy City Safes is Chicagoland's only Liberty Safe dealer. Visit the Niles showroom, call 224-LOCKBOX, or online at windycitysafes.com. The inbound Kennedy at a heavy 74 already. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Outbound, you're shut down right now between Cumberland and I-190, diverted off at Canfield because of a fatal accident that continues to be investigating. By the way, traffic is passing by using the long ramp to I-190. Your re-entry to westbound 90 is by way of a slip ramp that is just past that scene. Traveling this morning on the Dan Ryan, heavy and slow, 35, 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. Tri-State Tollway stop and go already northbound right at I-88. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Some rain from Tropical Rainstorm Burrow this morning. We do have a flood watch in effect. It'll be cloudy today, high 78. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 64. Partly sunny for tomorrow, the high at 81. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
66 and light rain at O'Hare, 67 at Midway. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Protecting Your Assets with Steve Scheinman. Listen Saturday mornings at 8. Learn more at willsave.com.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good Wednesday morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft.
Yeah.
We're killing it this morning.
Hey, I even have my Dan Proft University shirt on.
Oh, such
In
a
honor
suck
of
up.
Hey, yo, you guys talked about me at the debate night watch.
We
about
what?
my beard.
About your beard?
Yeah.
Well, at least your beard looks better than
The
Dan's
coloring.
hair. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me see.
It's
You doing?
It's gray now.
It's not gray. You dye your beard.
No, it's graying though. I haven't done it in a while.
Okay, but you do it.
Well, maybe.
Oh, you do.
Who knows?
And something that we are going to do is something that an idea that started in New York.
Uh-oh.
Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams want to do something that's not really COVID friendly, but it's about safety now, and that's banning masks.
See individuals on a subway being terrorized by individuals in masks. It's a cause for great concern. We have images of people with masks that almost cover up their entire face. It's impossible to find these perpetrators.
Mayor Adams is supporting the governor's possible ban, calling
So, and now whatever happens in New York transpires and eventually makes its way to Chicago. And one alderman wants to do it here, and I say, let's do it. Let's welcome back to the program Alderman Lopez. How are you, sir?
Top of the morning to you both.
Yes, and you are, he's joining, so he's the only alderman that really can come on this show. I've tried to get other aldermen on, and they just
The Palatano came on my show.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's been on our show, but we like Alderman Lopez. He's number one in our hearts, and he is calling us. We're calling him from Ireland. How's your vacation, first of all?
It is my first time on the Emerald Isle, and it is a beautiful country. I'm actually at a restaurant right now at the base of Croagh Kirkpatrick. This is the mountain that St. Patrick went up to. Looking forward to making that hike later this week, but it's beautiful, clean, wonderful country. And if anyone has the opportunity, definitely should go.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking time out of your vacation to walk us through here, because you want to, and you proposed an ordinance to ban masks in Chicago.
I am proposing that we include enhanced penalties for individuals who wear masks while in commission of crimes in the city of Chicago. It's not as extreme as what is being proposed in LA and New York, because this does not completely ban mask wearing, because there are some people who still want to wear them, need to wear them. But to the governor of New York's point, if you're out there committing crimes and we know that you're trying to do everything you can to prevent us from identifying you and arresting you, then we should be able to add some additional fines and penalties when we eventually catch you in the act of doing whatever it is you're trying to do.
All right, so what are these fines and penalties?
$5,000 in addition, a $5,000 fine in addition to whatever else you're arrested and charged with, as well as 120 hours of community service. Because I can't leave it up to a state's attorney to make a decision on whether or not they will bring those charges, but we can actually impose them from a municipal standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, what do you?
I was getting ready to say, because it's already, if you're masked in the commission of a crime, it ups the charges to aggravate it. That's why but I get why he's doing what he's doing now.
But that makes the assumption that you have a state's attorney who's going to up the charges or agree to up those charges. And while we know we have Kim Foxx already packing her office up, I can't leave it to future state's attorneys to have that much discretion without us being able to send a message, quite frankly, that we're tired of this crap with the masks. And it's amazing that we have such an argument right now in the public sphere saying that this is a fascist, totalitarian move by me, when you have other Democrats across the country saying the same thing, realizing the common sense that maybe, just maybe, people are wearing masks for something other than COVID.
Yeah, and I remember press conference after press conference of Superintendent David Brown at the time saying, we can't catch them because, look, they're all wearing masks, all wearing COVID masks, and then they throw the hood up, and you can't tell who they are. I mean, there's no way in the world that you can do that. So what are you hearing from other aldermen? Is this going to pass?
Well, I'm trying to get it on the Public Safety Committee's agenda. I've already spoken to Alderman Hopkins, and he said that he's willing to bring it up for a vote. But, of course, the usual suspects are fully enraged by the fact that we're actually trying to catch criminals and hold them accountable in the city of Chicago. So I can't guarantee that it's a slam dunk, even though we know other cities are doing, and states are doing things more strict than what I'm proposing. I think this is a fair middle ground, but I think it's really going to be incumbent upon residents, your listeners, to reach out to the elected officials and demand that we take this small step in the right direction to help bring some sanity back to the city of Chicago.
Yeah. Alderman, now, 4th of July weekend, 109 people shot, 88 wounded, 21 killed. I'm on heyjackass.com, and I'm looking at the
What are the
neighborhood.
totals now? I'm sorry. I was
it's
talking
109 people shot.
Yep.
88 wounded, 21 killed. And I'm looking at the neighborhoods. It's predominantly
and a new
the
Richard Nixon shirt.
Yeah. It's predominantly the south and west sides of Chicago. Yep. What is happening in the city of Chicago that on the 4th of July, 109 people are shot? Those are war zone numbers. What is the mayor going to do about this?
Well, let's go one better, John. Not just the 104 people shot, 18 killed, but the fact that we had over almost 500 gunshot alerts in those districts that have ShotSpotter alone, not fireworks, because they were able to detect the difference, contrary to what the lefties like to say. We had over 500 confirmed shooting alerts in those 17 in those districts.
Wow.
That is outrageous. It was raining bullets this weekend, quite literally, in the city of Chicago. And I feel for Larry Snelling, who's visibly frustrated and I think physically ill at what he keeps seeing, the carnage that he sees, the ill repute that he sees on a daily basis, and then having to stand next to our mayor, who can barely put together two sentences to condemn those kind of actions, who believes that, and I've heard this directly from his mouth, that we must love our community and correct it when they do things wrong.
Yeah.
I have yet to see a correction come out of his mouth. This from the teacher who never failed a student. You have to hold people accountable, and I don't think the mayor wants to hold people accountable because he's too busy trying to delve deep into the history books to find any excuse for why we are acting and seeing this in our city.
Right.
You can't talk to me about black and brown anymore because I really don't want to hear that crap if you're not going to address the fact that our own black and brown brothers and sisters are the ones shooting black and brown people. That we have this issue in our communities because no one from our community stands up and says, hey, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing.
That's right.
Calling on the community to stand up and say, turn in your children that are shooting, your grandchildren that are shooting everyone. Check their beds for the gun that you think that they don't have. Do that. But we're not getting those messages. We're getting mixed messages, and we're going to have this carnage continue as long as we have that conflict within leadership.
Right.
Well, and Mayor Johnson, he has no plans, just excuses. And he is running out of Republicans to blame. Bringing up Nixon and saying that this is Nixon's fault. I'm sure you heard that from across the pond.
That was the first thing I got when I got off the airplane, and I thought I was being punked by like an Onion article. I had to look and find it, and it's just incredible to me that we're reaching that far back. Pretty soon we're going to be blaming Adam and Eve for what happened.
Oh my gosh, I shouldn't even be laughing, but
yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
We're blaming everyone except where the blame belongs. And yes, we could talk about investment, and you could talk about all that great stuff. But at the end of the day, there's no program out there that's better at stopping violence than rebuilding families.
That's true.
You know, we are in this predicament because parents are failing. And if we don't want to acknowledge that, address that, or fix that, all of the program money that we spend is going to be just patronage renewed for that simple effect.
I wanted to move on to illegals that are here, or whatever you want to call them, migrants, immigrants. Marco Rubio, Senator Rubio, took to the Senate floor to talk about what's really going on. I just want you to listen to this.
One of the things I see a lot in South Florida are people that have been in this country that maybe came from Cuba 45 years ago. They've worked here their entire lives. They retire. They get $800, $900, $1,000 a month from Social Security. And then they run into somebody who just got here from Cuba 3 months ago, is 29 years old, doesn't work, and is given $1,500 a month in benefits by our government because they're refugees. That refugee, a year later, is traveling back to Cuba 15 times. So you're a refugee fleeing oppression from a place that you now go back and visit 15 times the following year. And in the meantime, we're giving you Medicaid, food stamps, health care for your children, cash payments from the refugee fund. So imagine if you've been working here for 40 years and your Social Security check is smaller than the benefits going to a 28-year-old.
Or how much money are we giving the people who end up in Chicago on a monthly basis?
You know, we've heard varying reports of what kind of level of benefits people are getting, and the sad part is the mayor and his team refuse to follow the law and show where the money is going on a quarterly basis. So we can only speculate between the rent and the assistance and other things of what they're getting. But I heard it's anywhere between, $3,000 to $4,000 roughly, depending on what's going on. And we knew early on that they were getting, these debit cards, and they were cashing them out and sending the money back to Venezuela or wherever to try and help pay for the next round of people coming up behind them. But listening to Marco Rubio, it's interesting hearing someone who benefited from the asylum process now complain about the asylum process. But his point is true, is that you had individuals who came to this country because they wanted to be in this country because they were fleeing something. And now you have people who are fleeing only for the purposes of being able to bring everyone else behind them so that they could just get benefits to be here. That is not what's going to make this country better. That's not the immigration, when we talk about mass immigration. That's not what's going to help lift up our country or any other country, because you need immigrants who want to add to the positive fabric of their new country and not tear it down and not, just be there for their handouts and freebies. Right. That's not what makes our society great. That's not what's going to improve our country. And oddly enough, even being here in Ireland, they are dealing with that very issue with a lot of the refugees from Africa and the Ukraine.
Yep.
And now with the EU ending some of their subsidized payments to these individuals, they're dealing with an issue where what happens to the migrants when the benefits stop? And we're going to see that same issue happen in the city of Chicago fairly soon because, a lot of the rental assistance was only for 6 months. A lot of these programs are not indefinite. And the state and city and county can't continue to shell out, $1 billion+ a year on these individuals and think that money train is going to continue. At some point, they're going to have to work for themselves or provide for themselves. And most of them are not able to legally do that because of the Biden administration's foot dragging. So they're going to return to that other market we all know, drugs, prostitution. And we see that even in my own ward now where I've got my homegrown gang members are at war with Venezuelan gang members who think that they're going to take over the drug market and the prostitution that goes on in some of the communities. And the only difference that we have is that a lot of the single male young men that came here from particular Venezuela are all compulsory military trained.
Whoa.
Unlike
That's scary.
Unlike our gang members who just grow up and get a handgun and, blindly shoot. You have people who had to join the military down there, trained down there, and now have nothing here. And if we don't recognize that fact and start talking about what we need to do to prepare for that, we are going to be severely hampered in dealing with the next generation
I agree.
of underworld life
Hey, Alderman.
in the city of Chicago.
Alderman, is Chicago a NASCAR kind of town? Was there money lost in is
Nobody showed
NASCAR
up.
coming back?
Nobody showed
up.
up. They even had a concert, a free concert with what's his name? Nicole Kidman's husband. Keith
Cobain?
Oh my God, Justin, help us out. Who's Nicole Kidman?
Nicole Kidman?
Yes, her husband.
I almost said Tom Cruise.
I know. I almost said Tom Cruise too. But
We're bad with names.
I know. I'm sorry. It's a crazy day.
I said
But they
Kurt
had
Cobain.
Keith Urban.
Keith
Yes,
Urban.
thank you.
It's not,
Nobody showed up. It was so embarrassing. And they even said, "Where were the?" And then they showed the crowd, a smattering of people. When I was watching it, we have had to have lost money on this.
There were more Palestinian protesters.
I hope they made money because I don't think the city made money. We already seeing issues where vendors who were removed from Grant Park are complaining that they didn't get the money promised to them. And we know that, I guess it's great to watch, but for all of the effort and we don't build that market. We're not cultivating a market for this race in the city of Chicago, no matter how much we try to say, oh, come down to Bronzeville for the post-party and all this other stuff. Nobody's going to see this, and especially with the weather that's been so crazy.
Yeah, the last 2 years in a row, it's been raining.
So I don't know. They better be getting better TV royalties than what they're getting in person.
Well, how many? What's the contract? Is it a 3-year or a 5-year contract? And can we break the contract?
Again, we don't know because, as Alderman Riley pointed out, we haven't been part of that discussion. The mayor did it in secret, so we don't know what we got. We're making assumptions about how many officers. I think they guesstimated roughly 800 officers were pulled for this event.
And then you had 109 shot and 21 killed.
Shouldn't have left Joliet.
But hey, the mayor was able to drive around in a NASCAR suit.
Yeah. I know. I saw that. It makes me sick.
Did you ever go in Joliet when it was in Joliet? I've been multiple times in Joliet when they were down there. I mean, it's a great experience, but I don't think the streets of Chicago is where it's at.
And it's such a hassle and inconvenience for people who just want to try to go to work.
Yeah.
So, all right, Alderman Lopez, 15th Ward, thank you so much. Continue on with your vacation in Ireland, and thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hold it down and bring common sense while I'm gone. Appreciate it.
Take a picture of that view.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560, The Answer.
Are your file cabinets stuffed with work orders, invoices, bills of lading, medical records, and or compliance papers? There's a solution to clear the clutter by converting your documents into accessible digital form with the help of IDT. They can scan your documents for you or provide you with the technology to transform your workspace with easy and innovative IoT smart connected scanning technology. IoT smart connected scanning not only captures your information, it connects your documents directly to your existing digital systems, ensuring seamless integration and immediate access. Plus, it works with your existing Microsoft Office 365 technology. Convert those physical files into secure, searchable, easy-to-find digital formats. Goodbye, paper chaos. Hello, streamlined, secure digital environment. Visit ready4idt.com. That's ready, the number 4idt.com. IDT, putting paper in its place.
All right, I can't wait to do it. Take my balance of nature. Because remember, those hot dogs, brats, and burgers don't provide the fruits and vegetables your body desperately needs every day to stay healthy, happy, energized. That's why I've been supplementing with Balance of Nature for nearly a decade. It's so easy to open up the individual capsules and dust them over a salad or mix them into juice drinks or warm water. And thousands of AM 560 listeners love their Balance of Nature, and you will too. Try it. 6 capsules a day provides your body, heart, and mind with over 10 servings of 31 different whole fruits and vegetables. You'll love it. Your body, mind, and heart will thank you for it. And right now, pay attention. If you've never tried Balance of Nature, this is the time to do it, because if you use coupon code Chicago, you will save 50% off your first set and free shipping when you sign up as a new preferred customer. The number to call, 800-246-8751, 800-246-8751. Call now or order online at balanceofnature.com and use coupon code Chicago to save half off. Hurry, this is a limited time offer while supplies last.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Finding the right dentist for you and your family, one that you can build trust and confidence in and develop a long-term relationship with, can be difficult. If consistency in your dental care done in a compassionate and caring environment is important to you, then here's someone you should meet.
Hi, I'm Dr. Phil Fidgel of Broadway Family Dental Group. We've been blessed to care for generations of families and make building strong relationships with our patients a priority. Kids I treated early on in my practice now bring their own kids in. My partner, Dr. Michelle Nebelsberger, Dr. K as she's known in the office, started as a patient when she was 3. It's our goal to create a dental home where we can improve and then maintain your oral health, contributing to your overall health. This is my personal invitation to join us, kids, adults, and seniors. We have all the services and technologies, but most importantly, we have good people who want to take good care of you.
Broadway Family Dental Group. 847-824-5252. 847-824-5252.
AM 560, The Answer.
Okay, Keith Urban, DJ duo du jour, the Chainsmokers, and an American Idol alum performed at the NASCAR race, and about a handful of people were there to see it. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we're going to take a break from all this wonky stuff and talk about competitive eating. And Chicago has a winner. We'll explain. But now let's head straight into that newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
7:31, light rain showers and 66 degrees. After kicking off this week's NATO summit, marking the 75th anniversary of the alliance, the president officially welcomes allied leaders to the D.C. summit today.
Pleasure to host you in this milestone year, to look back with pride at all we've achieved and look ahead to our shared future with strength and with resolve.
The summit comes at a critical time for Biden as he faces major pressure from fellow Democrats to show whether he's fit to serve another 4 years. Crews are scrambling to restore power to over 1.5 million customers, baking in the Texas heat after Hurricane Beryl.
This will be a multi-day restoration effort.
It's a race against time as much of the Southeast is under a heat advisory again. Kroger's and Albertsons on Tuesday releasing a list of stores the companies plan to sell off if a merger of the grocery giants finally wins approval from regulators. The merger was announced in 2022 but has been slowed to a stop by the Federal Trade Commission. 2 people, including a tow truck driver, were killed in a shootout on the far south side this morning around 2:30 a.m. A boil water order has been issued for parts of Chicago's south side. The boil order because of a leak in a high-pressure main inside the Roseland pumping station. So neighborhoods like Beverly, Morgan Park, and Auburn Gresham are being advised to boil their water for at least 5 minutes. Chicago's Office of Inspector General is urging the Chicago Police Department to take a closer look at allegations by outside political organizations of extremism within its ranks. A report by IG Deborah Witzberg says CPD must investigate the allegations more closely. However, CPD declined, saying their investigation revealed no evidence that cleared officers had ties to any extremist group. Kane County authorities are praising an off-duty Kane County Sheriff's deputy who was involved in a shooting in Elgin. Now, that confrontation happened Monday near Walnut and National. Kane County Sheriff Ron Haynes saying when a violent armed robbery was in progress, when the off-duty deputy driving through the area saw the attack and came to the rescue. The suspect showed a firearm. The deputy only then shot and killed him. Cubs rattle off 14 hits and a 9-2 win over Baltimore. Sox and Twins rained out. A doubleheader later on today. The news, a service of the Del Bacchio Marchetti Group of Properties, Christie's International Real Estate. With over $800 million in sales, you'll get the most value for your home. Call 708-828-0000. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Charlie Kirk is trying to dial down the temperature.
Left-wingers are now openly calling for the public assassination of Donald Trump. This has been a bad week to be a Democrat and a liberal. Do not take the bait. They want to trigger us because these are sick people. Things are about to get really hot, everybody. And we have to bring down the temperature. And we need all of us steady and stable at the wheel. Do not take the bait.
The Charlie Kirk Show. Afternoons at 1, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you know that high blood pressure is the number one risk factor for mortality? In fact, 1 in 2 adults have high blood pressure. That's a 50-50 chance you are a walking time bomb. But you, not Big Pharma, can take control of your blood pressure. Don't wait before it's too late. With 120 Life. 120 Life is a blend of great tasting super fruit juices that can actually help lower your blood pressure. 120 Life is formulated with ingredients that have been shown to naturally help control high blood pressure and are endorsed by thousands of health professionals. You can try it yourself risk-free with their 2-week trial pack. Just go to 120life.com and use the code LIBERTY to save 15% and receive free shipping. They're so sure that 120 Life can noticeably lower your blood pressure in 2 weeks that they'll give you your money back if you're not completely satisfied. So you have nothing to lose but those high blood pressure numbers. Go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com. And remember to use code LIBERTY to save 15%. This is serious. This is your life we're talking about. 120 Life can help.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only 2 good things about aging: wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part, my guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
7:37 Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this update is a service of our friends at Papa Nicholas Coffee. Hot air roasted locally, cold blended in small batches to ensure premium quality. Choose Papa Nicholas Coffee because great coffee is their family tradition. Online at papanicholas.com. Inbound Kennedy, right now 90 minutes, O'Hare into the Burn Circle interchange. Outbounders, it's completely shut down between Cumberland and I-190 due to a fatal accident investigation. You can slip by the accident site by using the long ramp to I-190. then with re-entry to westbound 90 by way of a ramp just past that scene. The Ike right now is running with delays. An hour 7, 390 to the old post office. Really heavy through the avenues this morning. Dan Ryan in 35 minutes, 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. Reagan I-88, watch out. You've got an eastbound and westbound ramps closed to Route 83 until early October. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Some rain this morning, cloudy later, highs 78. Currently, cloudy and 67 officially at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by TJ Stearns Financial Planning. Certified financial planner Tim Stearns holds a weekly discussion of the financial challenges to secure retirement. Listen Saturday at noon for Protect and Grow with Tim Stearns.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Eat it, get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried, just eat it.
All right, good Wednesday morning. Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony in for Dan Proft. And this is a very special segment. We're going to take a break from all the politics and highlight a Chicago champion. Woo-hoo. And I'm talking about Patrick Bertoletti, which I'm sure I just butchered his name. Bertolia.
You know, you had it right the first time.
Ah, that's right. He is the winner of Nathan's famed hot dog eating contest. Joining us on our Turnkey.pro answer line. Patrick, how are you doing this morning?
I am well. It's close enough. I think you got it right the first time, but
Thank you. But I'm a name assassinator. I don't know if you know that about me. But I'm welcome to the program. And how many hot dogs did you eat, and what was the time frame?
58 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes.
Okay, so and this is the thing, competitive eating, and Dan, the host who's not here today, he makes fun of me because I dated a competitive eater who ate 95. Why are you laughing? He ate 95 chicken wings. Why are you laughing, John? And won a contest in Iowa City, and then went on to, participate in other contests. But he's not as strong as you, and has never been asked to participate in Nathan's famed hot dog eating contest. So how do you train for an event like that?
I ate a lot of hot dogs, believe it or not. I think, my apartment still kind of smells like it, so that's great. But and then just drinking lots of water and liquids to help your stomach expand, and then that's about it, really. I've been doing this for for 20 years, so I think I kind of figured it out this time, though. My first victory at this competition.
And your best blessing was that Joey Chestnut, that 16-time winner and one of the nation's most famous competitive eaters, he couldn't participate because he's now the spokesperson for Impossible Foods. So when you heard that news, did you get a little excited?
Yeah, I'm good friends with him. But I have to ask, that wasn't the competitive eater you dated, was it? 'Cause we're
No.
good friends.
No. Wow. Thanks, so, for checking in. But you knew that you'd win. Like, you had a better chance if he wasn't there.
I was training very hard. I took, like I said, I took some time off. And once I heard that, I knew that this was, the one opportunity. Cause I've done this, I think this was my 9th time at that competition, and the best finish was 2nd. So, yeah, it definitely put more pressure, but motivation, and, it definitely pushed me.
So you live on the north side of Chicago. You grew up in Palos. And how did you get into this? What happened in your life between living in Palos and living in north part of Chicago that got you into competitive eating?
You want to know what went wrong in my life?
No. I like this guy.
It was thank you. It was a Bocce's pizza eating contest when I was 19, and I just always ate a lot growing up. And my twin sister recognized this and told me about it. It was just one of those skills that I knew I had, and I don't know. I was the youngest of 5, so looking for attention, I guess, lashing out by eating a lot. But I love food. Food is my passion. So.
But when you talk about training, how do you train? I mean, do you sit down and time yourself and put the hot dogs in front of you? I just, what is, if you're doing a marathon, the training's pretty simple. You got to do, short runs every day, and then you got to do a long run, an 18-mile and a 20-mile. So what do you do for competitive eating?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The contest is 10 minutes, so cook off a lot of hot dogs and then just go for 10 minutes, and then you just keep eating until you're full, and then repeat it like three days later. And I'm watching all the footage of me eating on the 4th, and it's hard to watch. I have to apologize to everyone because I'm not the prettiest eater on the planet to look at while I'm shoving hot dogs down my face.
All right, before I get to my question, I mean, you've been doing this for quite some time. You inhaled 53 bao in 10 minutes at Let Us Entertain You Enterprises. It was a Asian influenced restaurant. In 2015, you ate 120 raw eggs for America's Got Talent.
Oof.
Oh, 120 raw eggs. Okay, now my question. I'm sure everybody wants to know. What happens to the body after ingesting 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes? How do you come down from that? Flatulence?
Yeah, we don't need to go into all the specifics. I don't feel great. The body is pretty incredible, but I don't know. It's not like what you'd expect. It's not pleasant. We'll just say that.
Okay. Well, did you see the lemonade chugging contest?
Oh yeah.
Did you see it,
that was,
John? That guy hurled.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the guy who won, the big black guy, was like, "Get out of here!" And then he's like, "Look at me, I won." So you won a mustard belt. And how much money do you get for winning the Nathan's hot dog eating contest?
I think the prize was $10,000.
What do you mean you think? You got so much you're rolling in dough over there?
I wish. No, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I was not expecting this, so there wasn't really a factor going in, Pretty sure that's what it is, but yeah. And it's not like I did it I did it for the glory as well, but I don't know. I'm still a little overwhelmed with this whole thing,
Yeah, all the media attention. Do you have an agent?
I do not, but I have a feeling everything's going good now, but I feel like in a few weeks it'll settle down so I can go back into obscurity.
No.
Okay. Now, do you have a day job, Patrick?
Yeah, I work at Food for Thought on the north side at the catering company, so I'm a chef.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
And what's next for you?
This is going to sound made up, but I have a blueberry eating contest on Saturday in Grand Rapids.
I love it.
Well, you sound like a frat guy for real.
Oh, my God. So then is your technique, you dip the blueberry muffin in water and then go?
No.
Is that even allowed?
Straight blueberries. So just handfuls of it. Yeah, I ate a bunch of them yesterday to practice. But this is a nice change. I've been eating just hot dogs for the last 3 months, so I'll take blueberries any day. And yeah, I hope there's nothing. There's no such thing as like antioxidant poisoning or anything, because it's going to be a lot of blueberries, but it should be fun.
Amy, you may need to send him some of that fiber and spice because he may need this after consuming all these hot dogs.
All right. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations. Something good's happening in Chicago.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, good luck with your blueberry eating contest. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you searching for the perfect gift that's as thoughtful as it is practical? Look no further than Old Town Oil. Our exquisite selection of extra virgin olive oils and balsamic vinegars make for the ideal prep family farms in Spain, Italy, Greece, Chile, California, and other major olive growing regions to bring you delicious, unique products that you won't find elsewhere, with retail stores in Evanston and Chicago's Old Town. Stop in to sample our artisanal olive oils such as Meyer Lemon, Tuscan Herb, Garlic, and Blood Orange. Or try our balsamic vinegars like Fig, Lemon White, Pomegranate, Peach, and more. Visit our website at oldtownoil.com to place an online order and explore our full range of products. Again, that's oldtownoil.com. Use promo code AM560 for free shipping.
All right. Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? Well, this is the best time for being outdoors, but not if your knees, shoulders, back, or hips are hurting. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here from our very good friends at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. We're talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk and run, hike, play golf, play pickleball, move again pain-free. Doesn't that sound wonderful? QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. Now, their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. They will walk you through the process, get into details on how it works, and it does work. They're open on Saturdays, and they have new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955. Again, 312-809-5955.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal, from fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Support. How can we help?
Hey there, we have a huge problem. Our network crashed and our entire assembly line is down. We're losing thousands of dollars an hour. Can you help?
Please hold.
What did they say?
They put me on hold.
We gotta get this line back running now.
IT support, who are you holding for, please?
Oh, hi. I need help. My network is down. I've been on hold for over...
Sorry, wrong call. Please hold again.
Sound familiar? Don't let a network problem cost your business thousands of dollars. Turnkey is the champion of small businesses. For the price of a monthly car payment, Turnkey will fully protect your network with the most secure, up-to-date cyber protection, unlimited backup, unlimited 24/7 help desk support, and real-time threat hunting. All by world-class technicians who really care about helping people. Protect your small business today. Visit turnkey.pro today.
My name is Dr. Dave Anspaugh. I have co-authored a wellness textbook, which was the #1 bestseller. And I do about anything that I want to do. I still take care of my own lawn, and I go to the health club. We'll go 2-3 miles on the treadmill there. I've been taking Balance of Nature about 6 years. It has convinced me that it's a great product. I enjoy playing golf. I will go out there and go down to the green and go back and do it once or twice more. Seems like being retired, I've got more going on than I did when I was actually working. I stay active. I do about anything I want to do. As long as I'm breathing the air, I'm going to be taking Balance of Nature.
Splash into your summer with Balance of Nature's summer savings. Go to balanceofnature.com and get 50% off your first set as a preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. While supplies last, go to balanceofnature.com and get this limited time offer by using discount code Chicago.
This is Sean Thompson. When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have somebody else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement, but you don't have a plan customized to your goals, it's like kind of taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in the suitcase. Sounds like a stressful way to begin what should be a relaxing time. Tom Fortino at Alpha Wealth Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to reduce future taxes, address Social Security and health care, and a whole lot more, all with a clear, defined income strategy. Call the Alpha Wealth Group at 630-934-1855. Ask for the complimentary retirement plan. That's 630-934-1855 or online at alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on AM 560.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, I want to get straight to it because I owe our listeners an apology. Yesterday, we were talking about Dan's dream cellmate, and it was this man from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, who felt that his First Amendment rights to free speech had been trampled. And just the American way is gone because in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, they passed a hate speech law.
Of course.
So the ordinance will basically make it illegal to think the wrong way. And it was unanimous. And the reason why they did it is because of two alleged, and I say alleged because now that I've read more into this story and listened to videos and saw the police body cam, these are alleged incidents. All right, so one involved kids from tribal members from a school who were allegedly taunted at a park. No evidence. No one's been charged. But the other case gained national attention because it involved the University of Utah women's basketball team. They played a game in Spokane, Washington, and then drove to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's about 45 minutes away, and that's where they spent the night. There was 100 people when you consider the coaches and the parents. And allegedly on a way to a restaurant, and again, there was about 100 people.
Right.
They claim, or one man claims, that they were taunted by a man in a pickup truck who had a, quote, large Confederate flag flying off the back of the flatbed. The person reportedly shouted racial slurs at them and the N-word, and then allegedly waited for them for 2 hours outside the restaurant for them to come out and taunted them again. And the man that called 911 to report this is Robert Moyer. He lives in Seattle, but he's a huge Utah basketball fan. All right, so he travels with the team. And here's part of the body cam footage. It was 19-minute long body cam where to me, he looked absolutely plastered.
Is he white or black?
Oh, he's white.
Okay.
Big fat white guy wearing a really goofy jacket, but he's one of those groupies, you know, those because they have those basketball groupies, and he's a huge donor to University of Utah. All right, and here's him, you know, talking to the police officer.
Is any of your team members who are African American, are they wanting to press charges if we happen to find these individuals and catch them?
I would press. Well, yes. I haven't spoke to her. One of them, one of them, the top lady is African American from Notre Dame. Okay. Strong. I mean, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't if they're trying to do the right thing? Nothing.
So let's do this. Just because very limited information on the individuals with the trucks and everything, like we're more than likely not going to be able to find them unless they continue to do it.
I understand.
What's the crime?
So then he also called police, and here's part of the phone call. No mention of a Confederate flag. No surveillance video supporting this claim. Not out of those 100 people walking, not one person, if they're getting taunted, got out their cell phones to videotape this. But here's this him making racial. Who's making racial slurs now?
You can't control what many of you, obviously, your hillbilly, white trash people do. Rednecks, revving engines. Put out an alert. There are going to be African Americans in this town, and many of those people are of color. That would be black, which doesn't seem to work too well here. Such a bad look.
Wow, hillbillies. Honkies. He didn't say honkies, though.
No, but he would have. All right, so they, they listened to public opinion before they passed this hate crime law.
Yeah.
And one of those who came up to the lectern is Eric Christians, who moved to Idaho from California because of COVID.
Not one video amongst 100 people walking on the street, half of whom are my children's ages and can't get off their phones. Right. Not one picture, not one security camera from a business. And we are to pretend that this incident happened with no evidence and no facts being presented. An entire community is under attack. The hate-filled comments that are on the internet right now that you are allowing to go forward by not closing this, I'd be glad to be proven wrong. If there's some knucklehead driving around with a Confederate flag, really. We've been coming up here for 10 years vacationing. We decided to make this a home. Brought my son here tonight to show him what civic engagement is. Well, civic engagement is not allowing an inebriated drunk 4 hours after an event supposedly happened to self-righteously antagonize an entire community with some of the most arcane language I've ever heard him direct towards a whole group of people. Logical fallacies is what that guy used. Ad hominem, attacking the body, calling people a bunch of names so he could just impugn an entire community. Disgusting. Slander is what it was.
People in this town are smart.
Amy, the YouTubers, rip to you and you won, not African Americans of color. That guy said that, African Americans of color. What the heck is that?
Robert Moyer was completely hammered during that body cam video. They should have arrested him for public intoxication.
Amy.
But again, this is a Jussie Smollett case. I mean, no arrests made, no suspects, no surveillance video, and yet the city council passes what they think is feel-good legislation because of something that allegedly happened.
Right. Amy, this is why I say people don't understand true freedom, what it means. The Confederate flag is constitutionally protected. You know what? The LGBTQ flag is constitutionally protected. You want to know what real freedom is? These people should be able to fly whatever flag they want. That's freedom.
And
that's
I don't like
the understanding
racial
of freedom.
slurs, but that's your First Amendment right to free speech.
First Amendment right.
And they don't have it there.
I don't have to agree with
Idaho.
it. I don't have to agree with it. But you go to South Carolina and you go to these places with a Confederate flag in Georgia,
I see it. Yeah.
you see black people wearing the flag. They proudly displaying the flag on their front yard. Some of my cousins still support the Confederate flag. They're blacker than me, you know. I mean, blackety black. That's what my cousins are. I don't get it.
If an arrest is made, we'll let people know. All right, coming up, Olympics going green. We'll start there with junkscience.com. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
The body of a missing pastor recovered from the river. WIND Chicago News Time 8.
Support slips for President Biden. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. That's support from at least one more House Democrat saying he should end his campaign. New Jersey's Mikey Sherrill. And among voters, according to new independent analysis of states that could go either way in November.
The Cook Political Report just moved 6 key states towards former President Trump in its electoral college ratings. That's Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada shifting from toss-up to lean Republican, while Minnesota, New Hampshire, and a swing district in Nebraska shifted from likely Democrat to just lean Democrat. And a new poll shows former President Trump leading President Biden by 6 points in battleground state Wisconsin. This could spell trouble for Democrats who remain divided on Biden's political future. 7 House Democrats have already called on President Biden to end his re-election bid.
Fox's Brooks Singman. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky meets with members of Congress today. He's in Washington for the NATO summit hosted by President Biden.
Biden kicked off things last night in the Mellon Auditorium, where President Harry Truman signed the North Atlantic Treaty, which established NATO 75 years ago.
In the year 2020, the year I was elected president, only 9 NATO allies are spending 2% of their defense GDP on defense. This year, 23 will spend at least 2%.
Speaking at a rally outside Miami, former President Donald Trump claimed he would end the war on Ukraine after taking office.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. At least 25 people are reported killed in Israeli airstrike in southern Gaza on a school being used as a shelter. 14 others in an earlier strike in central Gaza. The Israeli military blames civilian deaths on the presence of Hamas fighters among them. The most severe weather threat today is from New Hampshire to Pennsylvania.
The remnants of Beryl continuing to move over the Midwest, the Great Lakes in the Northeast, with the potential for heavy rain, strong winds, and tornadoes later today. Ahead of this system, temperatures are above average, and the humidity will make it feel even worse.
That's Janice Dean. America's listing.
66 degrees. 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 2 were killed, including a tow truck driver, during a shootout on the far south side early this morning around 2:30 a.m. A boil water order has been issued for parts of Chicago's south side this morning. The boil order for Beverly, Morgan Park, and Auburn Gresham neighborhoods is because of a leak in a high-pressure water main inside the Roseland pumping station. That leak has been repaired. It's not clear when the boil order will be lifted. Neighborhoods are being advised to boil their water for at least 5 minutes. Authorities confirming the body of a missing Chicago pastor was found dead inside his vehicle in the Des Plaines River in Will County.
We have positively identified the decedent as Warren Christopher Beard.
The remains of Beard were located in the river yesterday near the Brandon Road Lock and Dam near Rockdale.
The vehicle was found approximately 250 feet to the south of where the locks went in.
The nonprofit leader was also an assistant pastor at the New Israelite Missionary Baptist Church on the south side. Chicago police are probing that disappearance. Governor Pritzker scheduled to sign the Health Care Protection Act today in Chicago. Progressives and Democrats praising that bill that bans so-called step therapy and some prior authorizations for crisis mental health care. Yesterday, Pritzker was in front of the media for the first time since he met with other governors and Joe Biden last week, and he shared what his message to Joe Biden was.
I said you got to get out there and talk to the American public more. It was important. I think they took too long. I think he admitted this after the debate for him to really go out and do press that would get national attention. I know they did some rallies along the way, but it's important for him to answer questions and talk about the issues.
The news, a service of Valdecast Windows for the discerning homeowner looking for high-quality and professional-level window replacement service. Contact Valdecast Windows, your award-winning Platinum Pella Elite certified contractor, Valdecast.com. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs. And now, the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell returns to Capitol Hill today, this time appearing before the House Financial Services Committee. Microsoft has relinquished its seat as an observer on the board of OpenAI, the company that makes artificial intelligence service ChatGPT. Microsoft says it believes the OpenAI board has enough stability to make Microsoft's involvement no longer necessary. Mortgage rates declined slightly last week as measured by the Mortgage Bankers Association, with the 30-year fixed rate moderating to 7%. Dollar General is making changes. The Wall Street Journal says the discount retailer will cut the variety and volume of goods it sells to get things to shelves quicker. The changes are also aimed at improving efficiency and reducing theft. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Dennis Prager believes America saw the truth.
Prior to the debate, anyone who pointed out his disintegrating mental capacities was condemned as making up partisan lies. And now, all of a sudden, oh, he shouldn't run.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Charlie Kirk at 1 on AM 560. The Answer.
With over 3 decades of serving up streetwise insight and local perspective on Page 2, the voice of John Cass has a home at johncassnews.com.
I'm John Cass, and for too long, so-called progressives have been ruining our world. They've been stepping on us. They've twisted everything from the schools to the media in the hopes of crushing our liberty. Traditional media, mainstream media, like the paper, and anything else you see on TV, well, they're in on it. And that's why you need to join me at johncassnews.com for your daily cup of Midwestern common sense. Don't be a chump alone. Join me on the new frontier of independent journalism at johncassnews.com, where freedom and liberty still mean something. They mean everything.
Go to johncassnews.com to subscribe for daily access to podcasts and columns from John Cass and others. That's johncassnews.com. Click on subscribe.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com Venmo.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
.69 degrees at 8:08. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, a service of Windy City Safes, Chicagoland's only Liberty Safe dealer. With Liberty Safes, you're not just getting a safe, you're getting peace of mind. Visit the Nio showroom, call 224-LOCKBOX or online at windycitysafes.com. Kennedy inbound at 75 minutes. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Outbounders, you're completely shut down between Cumberland and I-190. Solid traffic from Harlem Avenue due to a much earlier fatal accident and investigation. That continues. Stevenson commuters, heavy and slow from the Veterans up to Route 83, 57 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Let's check the tri-state. Northbound, you're jammed at 87. Reagan, watch out as you travel eastbound. You're slowing up at the Aurora Toll. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Some rain from Tropical Rainstorm Burl this morning. We do have a flood watch in effect. It'll be cloudy today, high 78. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 64. Partly sunny for tomorrow, the high at 81. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Clouds and light rain at O'Hare and Midway, but it is partly sunny this morning in Kankakee, partly sunny in Morris. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony,
Hey.
for Dan Proft while he's playing the Merit Club, hopefully not embarrassing the family and hitting the balls long and straight, if you know what I mean. The Olympics are coming up. Are you a big Olympics fan? Do you go?
I am.
Do you watch?
Yes.
Have it on all the time
Yes,
in
I
the
love
household?
Olympics.
Do you like summer or winter better?
Summer, especially track and field.
Oh, I know. Isn't it
I
great?
did it as a kid, so.
Oh, what was your? Did you do the 400, the 100? Did
I did
you
the
do
200.
relay?
Well, because you remember they had the 50 meters too as a kid. You do the 50 meters, 100
That's
meters.
right.
I did 50, 100, and 200.
Wow.
And I won a few of them. I was pretty fast. Not anymore.
Now you run only if you're being chased.
Run, please.
That's not gonna happen.
I do run walk at this Lake Shaman Wood down there where I work out at every morning.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And you're keeping it real. You've lost some weight. Is
I
that
have.
offensive or should I
and,
not
and
say
you know
that?
what? I can get in pants again. I can wear shirts I hadn't worn in years. And then the side, I mean, I'm still trying to work on the gut, but right in here. What is this called right here, Amy? Down here.
What?
Right in here. What is? I don't know what that part's called.
It's your midsection?
But you can see that where it's trimmed down. I'm like, yes, I'm winning.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And taking balance of nature.
And,
Well,
hey, I got my 2 jars right here.
there you
Balance of
go.
nature.
I know. I was without it for a few days, and I noticed a difference.
Yeah, it's
I'm
good.
never doing that again. When I go on vacation, I'm going to pack a to-go bag of balance of nature, that's for sure. All right, well, back to the matter at hand. This year in Paris, they're trying to go green by denying athletes air conditioning.
Right.
So with that, we welcome back to the program Steve Malloy, founder of junkscience.com, member of President Trump's EPA transition team, and author of Scare Pollution, Why and How to Fix the EPA. Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Amy and John.
Good morning.
So walk us through this process of going green by banning air conditioning from the athletes' living quarters.
Well, as nutty as we are in the U.S. about climate hoax, the Europeans are worse. And the Parisian Olympic organizers thought that they would be, really green by building athletic dorms without air conditioning. They thought that they would just, cool the rooms by running pipes with cool water on, underneath the floor. Of course, that doesn't really work. And of course, countries like the United States, medal hungry, look at the Olympics as a chance to, win prestigious gold medals. they don't want their athletes to suffer. They want their athletes to be in top physical shape. So the U.S. and other wealthy countries are bringing portable air conditioners for their athletes to have in their rooms. And, of course, other countries, poor countries, can't do that. The president of the Ugandan Olympic Committee, for example, said that we just can't. We don't have deep pockets. We can't afford that. So you have this situation. I call it air conditioning apartheid, where these wealthy country athletes will have air conditioning. They'll be nice and cool, but the poor country athletes won't. And it's the hypocrisy, of course, is unreal because it's these Western countries, these rich Western countries that are beating up the rest of the world about climate. They don't want the poor countries to develop their natural resources. They don't want them to use fossil fuels. But here they are bringing their emissions creating air conditioning to the Olympics.
Well, how much emissions would they be cutting down by not running or having air conditioning?
Of course, the whole.
I mean, did anybody do where's the science and data on that, Steve?
Well, of course, but no one even talks about that. It's ridiculous. Even if the Paris Olympics didn't exist, even if France didn't exist, even if the United States didn't exist, it would hardly make a difference to atmospheric carbon dioxide concentrations, even if those had anything to do with temperature anyway. So, China is burning coal like there's no tomorrow, and it's just, that's all the emissions are in the developing world, especially in Asia, India, and China.
Yeah, I've actually had the opportunity to go into a coal mine, and as they were talking, as an elected official, and they were talking to us about all these regulations that come down from the EPA. How will the Chevron decision affect what has happened, and how they go about creating new regulations for these different energy companies? Because when I was state rep, I had the largest imprint of energy. I believe they said in the United States of America, I had 3 new plants. I had plastic. I had coal. I had it all in my district. Yeah. But how would that affect that Chevron decision affect their ability to regulate without congressional oversight?
Yeah, so I used to work in the coal industry myself. So there have been now 2 Supreme Court decisions which are really going to constrain EPA's ability to continue its war against the coal industry. The first one happened 2 years ago. It's West Virginia versus EPA. There, the Supreme Court held that EPA cannot do things unless specifically authorized by Congress. 2 weeks ago, there was a decision in Chevron. Well, it was a Supreme Court decision, Loper Enterprises, to overturn Chevron, which is what you mentioned. And in that case, the Supreme Court held that EPA cannot make up what the law is. There was a 1984 case called Chevron versus NRDC, and that case held that where there's ambiguity in the law, judges have to defer to the agencies on the interpretation. But that case is now gone. So EPA must stick with the law, and if they get sued, then the judges don't have to defer to EPA in court. So between those 2 decisions, EPA is between a rock and a hard place. Now, if Donald Trump wins his second term, then EPA is going to be between a rock and 2 hard places.
Yeah, because it definitely needs reform. And, I'm on Twitter. You see all of the hoopla now about Project 2025, which is not President Trump's agenda. Agenda 47.
No, this is propaganda.
Correct. Agenda 47 is Trump's agenda as it relates to that. My question to you, and I posed this question on social media, and I got mixed reactions. But which is worse, the Green New Deal or Project 2025?
Look, Project 2025 is just bringing good government back to government. Project 25 is just regulatory reform, which all Republicans are for. I know the left is trying to attack the Heritage Foundation. Project 2025 is kind of crazy. Even my wife has been kind of worried about it because she doesn't really know much about it. I showed her the headline, the Washington Post headline from the day Trump had been convicted. Of 34 felony counts, and he is more popular.
Yes.
This effort to attack heritage in Project 2025 is going to fail because there's no merits to it. Our government is out of control. Everybody knows that. Yeah. Joe Biden has been out of control. Barack Obama was out of control. Donald Trump brought sanity back to government. Yes. and then that was reversed when Biden became president again. So, we're hopefully going back into a period of sanity. And, Project 2025 doesn't have any special influence over the Trump campaign. It's just one group out there. There are other groups that have plans, but they're all conservative plans for reforming government and bringing back constitutional government.
Yeah, I've read all 922 pages of Project 2025. I really did. I'm that geek. I was a policy wonk. I love policy. When I love to get into the minutia as it relates to policy. And what I gather from reading all 922 pages of this report, and then they're ideas. It isn't something that Trump's going to implement. But what I gathered from it, if you love democracy, you support the Green New Deal. But if you want to restore the republic, this is a guide to do so. Now, there's some things in there I don't agree with, but saying that people are going to be forced into marriage, I didn't see any of that in Project 2025. But these other people who are in love with the sounds of democracy but don't want the constitutional republic restored. That's what I gather from it. I don't know about, what say you, sir?
Well, the left only likes democracy as long as they can marshal enough votes, so they can implement their totalitarian ideas. I mean, they're not for democracy. What's so democratic about Joe Biden or anything he's done? I mean, who voted to kill the coal industry, for example? And when you killed the coal industry, I mean, you destroyed, not only did you kill 50,000 high-paying jobs, but you destroyed their communities and you destroyed all the other support jobs. I mean, who voted for that? Nobody. Right. Okay? So we're trying to bring constitutional government back to America instead of the out-of-control nonsense of agencies like EPA. The Supreme Court has made two important decisions. Hopefully, voters will recognize that Donald Trump will improve the country by improving government, reforming government.
Amen.
So as a member of President Trump's EPA transition team, what are you in charge of? What are your responsibilities?
Well, there's no transition team yet. I was on the 2016 transition team, but I hope to have some say in what goes on in the future. And we want to bring EPA. I work on science issues, so I want to bring better science to EPA. Or actually, not. I want to bring science that's not fraud to EPA.
Right.
EPA right now it's just chock full of fraudulent science. The whole climate hoax, for example. Now with these tools, West Virginia versus EPA, which I mentioned in the Chevron decision, that it's going to make it a lot easier for people to go to court and get EPA to adhere to the letter of the law.
You mean things like the trap water debacle, basically water on your land? I mean, EPA was literally going after people for that.
So that's a great example. That's where EPA has this sort of Chevron deference where, it's unclear how far EPA can regulate water on land. And so the court, came up with its own test, and it was all nonsense. Yeah. I mean, Congress needs to specify the limits of EPA's regulatory authority.
Because they set the rules.
Yeah, and so this is actually, it's a boost for democracy because it's, under our Constitution, Congress is supposed to tell the agencies what to do, not just sort of give them vague direction and let them do what they want.
Yep.
All right. Well, Steve Malloy, founder of junkscience.com, member of President Trump's EPA transition team in 2016. And we hope you'll have that role again.
Yeah, go Trump.
And he's an author of Scare Pollution, Why and How to Fix the EPA. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. Your business and your money are in good hands with Signature Bank. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Jason Zenger, owner of Zenger's Industrial Supply and host of the Making Chips podcast, and a proud customer of Signature Bank. Through rapid growth, acquisitions of competitors, and taking over from the previous generation, Signature Bank was there with us every step of the way. Recently, the team introduced us to FinRails AP, their proprietary system for accounts payable automation. Not only did FinRails AP help us to reduce costs and create efficiencies, but it also helped minimize fraud risk. Now, our company can invest time into what we do best, supplying industrial products, metalworking tooling, contractor tools, and safety supplies to those who make, build, and create great things for our country.
Signature Bank helps local businesses succeed. Let Signature Bank turn your business vision into reality. Visit signaturebank.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With halfpriceschools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, halfpriceschools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child too. Just go to halfpriceschools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
VideoJet seeks a service project analyst in Wooddale, Illinois, to analyze data, create and manage systems, and measure key financials. Qualified candidates must have a bachelor's degree in mathematics, physics, computer science, statistics, economics, or other related quantitative fields, plus 5 years of experience, or alternatively, a master's degree and 3 years of experience. Partial telecommuting available. Please send resumes to adeyinka@d-hproducti-d.com.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel, home to the biggest shows on TV, like Hugh Hewitt weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, followed by Mike Gallagher at 9. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free, now on Zumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Zumo.
Building owners, property managers, and chief engineers. This one's for you.
Hello, this is Bruce Diedrich with Waukegan Roofing, your professional roofer. Everything starts on top. Your investment, your building, and everything in it is protected by your roof. It needs to be in good shape. That's where we can help. If it needs to be repaired or replaced, or you think it might, call us. Let's find out. Here's the number.
847-623-1625.
At Waukegan Roofing, our employees are union-trained roofing professionals with OSHA safety training certifications and have thorough knowledge and expertise regarding the various roofing systems we sell, maintain, and install. We know commercial roofing systems because that's all we do. Over 110 years of doing commercial roofs. Waukegan Roofing has the slogan,
Roofs you can rely on.
Because you can. Here's the number to call,
847-623-1625.
And get the info at waukeganroofing.com. waukeganroofing.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, so June is over, which means Pride Month is over. And did you see what happened in San Francisco? The gay pride parade?
Yeah, the fight.
People were naked.
Oh, yeah.
No laws applied.
Fellatio. One guy was getting, right?
And then the other set up a tub where they urinated on each other.
And he was doing
saw
the
that
thing.
on the
I saw that.
internet too.
But you know what July is, right?
What is July?
It's
4th of July.
Guess what?
Happy birthday, America.
No.
What?
It's White History Month.
No, it's not.
It is.
Stop. I honestly.
I'm not
Who let
joking.
you in the building?
I am not joking. Jesse Lee Peterson deemed July White History Month. That's my guy. He's out in South Central LA, black guy.
Well, in case you missed it, because I missed one of the busiest news weeks ever by going on vacation. At Lurie's Children's Hospital in the pediatric cancer ward, they let close to 50 people in. They had a pride parade on Sunday. Yay! And then they play this heroic, inspiring music while people are going into kids who are the most vulnerable, whose immune systems have been compromised because of chemo or radiation, and stick a pride flag. And I think the kid was 1 or 2 years old who, was hooked up to machines. Have they lost their minds? And I only know this because I was at Lurie's for my son's kidney being removed. And my other son, he had a brain tumor that was removed. That was a 9-hour thing. They wouldn't even, there were such germaphobes. And this was before COVID.
Right.
Masks, hand sanitizers, only a few people in. One parent at a time sometimes. Only one parent could stay overnight. Both parents could come in. But only one could stay overnight because they were very cautious.
Right.
And when I saw that, I died a little inside because they are compromising children's safety to promote their political agenda.
Yeah.
And it is sick. I tweeted it out if you want to see it.
Yeah.
And Mancow Muller did as well. But it's sick that they're putting young children's lives in jeopardy to promote their narratives. Kids that age, they just want to get better and leave.
Yeah.
They don't need that.
I agree. I can care less what two consenting adults do. Stop over-sexualizing the kids. Stop it.
Why do I have to celebrate your sexuality?
Yeah. Stop it.
I don't want to.
I mean, is there a heterosexual month?
No. Do you want to make one?
No.
Why don't you just make July heterosexual month?
Right after Pride?
Go ahead. Do it. But I will tell you this. When when Peyton had his kidney removed, we were at the old Lurie's Children's Hospital. And I got to tell this story, but this is, I'm not. All right. So after the operation, I'm up on whatever floor that was. And I'm the only white person up there.
Oh. Why you say that soft?
Because, well, in our room, because they were overcrowded. So my son was there, and a little girl, her name was Fatima. And everybody had burqas on. And I went up to the nurse's station, and I said, what's going on here? Because every room, there are Palestinians over the whole floor. And Fatima was in my room with Peyton. And then down the hall, that same family had another daughter who was 2, who's hooked up to dialysis for 13 hours a day. Wow. So they're there all the time. Wow. And I said, I don't understand what's going on. She said, well, it's inbreeding because the Palestinian community does not want any American blood or Jewish blood. Oh. So a lot of times, like a first cousin will marry a first cousin. And that's just what I saw. And that was, I don't know, 15 years ago, 17 years ago. But I was just shocked. And then Fatima's father couldn't be in the room with me because I didn't have head covering. And I'm like, don't even talk to me about that. And she was adorable. That girl was adorable. And her and Peyton, they were talking and they were cute. And I'm like, okay, kids, it's time to go to sleep.
They still have lockdown measures?
Pardon?
They still have these same lockdown measures?
What do you mean?
The hospital.
Well,
mask and all that. Are they still doing all that at that hospital?
Apparently not, because people that were going through in the gay pride parade, no one had a mask on. So, All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Ed Morrissey from Hot Air joins us. Democratic disarray. We'll start there with him, but now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
8:30, 67 degrees, cloudy skies. Former President Trump teasing Florida Senator Marco Rubio as a potential running mate. Rubio addressing the crowd last night at a rally in Florida, and Trump making several references to Rubio throughout his speech. Colorado Senator Michael Bennet this morning has become the first Senate Democrat to publicly acknowledge his belief that President Biden cannot win the November election. Bennet confirming on CNN he's had private Capitol Hill meetings.
The stakes could not be higher. I believe that if we elect Donald Trump president again, my generation of Americans will be the first generation to leave less opportunity, not more, to the kids coming after us.
Bennett said that polling shows Trump is on track to win, especially in and around Colorado, potentially by a landslide, and that Trump would help take the Senate and House as well. After kicking off this week's NATO summit, marking the 75th anniversary of the alliance, President Biden officially welcomes NATO and allied leaders to the D.C. summit today. Opening statements are scheduled to begin in Alec Baldwin's trial on charges of involuntary manslaughter. Baldwin was rehearsing with a prop gun on the set of that movie in New Mexico when it went off, firing a live round and killing a cinematographer. 2 people, including a tow truck driver, were killed in a far south side shootout this morning. Chicago police responded around 2:30 a.m. Found a 59-year-old man operating that tow truck shot in the head. A 45-year-old man was later transported to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, later pronounced dead. Authorities confirming the body of a missing Chicago pastor was found inside of his car in the Des Plaines River in Will County.
The vehicle was found approximately 250 feet to the south of where the locks went in.
The remains of Warren Beard were located near the Brandon Road lock and dam. Beard was last seen July 2nd. He had been visiting friends in Joliet. Kane County authorities praising an off-duty Kane County Sheriff's deputy involved in a shooting in Elgin. The confrontation happened on Monday near Walnut and National. Kane County Sheriff Ron Hain saying a violent armed robbery was in progress when the off-duty deputy was driving by. He saw the attack and came to the rescue. The suspect showed a firearm. The deputy then shot and killed him. The search continues for 2 boaters who went missing in Lake Michigan over the weekend in northwest Indiana. 3 of the boaters went into the water Friday afternoon near Whiting. Only 1 was rescued. And free tickets for the upcoming Bears training camp sessions are all but sold out. The team reporting 1 hour after they announced the tickets were available that there were basically none left. The Bears will have 9 practices available to fans, all at no charge. Cubs over the Orioles, 9-2 last night. Jamison Taillon earning win number 6, 7 strikeouts. White Sox and Twins were rained out. The news, a service of Crosscom Public Adjusters. If your home or business has an insurance claim, Crosscom will help you get what you need and have coming to you. They've helped thousands. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Fruit and vegetable ingredients have never been more convenient.
It's easy for me to recommend Balance of Nature. It's so simple. It's amazing getting the fruits and vegetables ingredients in 3 red and 3 green capsules.
I take Balance of Nature. I think it's a good product. It's convenient. It's a way to start off with a plus. I can do little capsules in the morning and I'm off to work, you know.
I would recommend Balance of Nature. It's so easy to do every day. I really am happy that I came across it. I feel great, and who doesn't want to feel great?
Splash into your summer with Balance of Nature's summer savings. Go to balanceofnature.com and get 50% off your first set as a preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. While supplies last, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and claim this offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost.
Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-353-2973. That's 800-353-2973. What do you have to lose? Call 800-353-2973. Again, 800-353-2973.
8:37. Let's check the roads in the Team Hochberg Traffic Center. Accidents all over the place. Third Lake, an accident Washington east of US 45. West Chicago, an accident Geneva Road in Winfield. Lyle, an accident Warrenville and Route 53. On the Veterans Memorial Toll, we're seeing delays northbound on 355 between I-55 and the Reagan Memorial, I-88. Delays on the Jane Addams As you begin your trip this morning, we're seeing delays as you approach Route 53. DuSable Lakeshore Drive jammed up northbound Marquette up through 57th. Dan Ryan in 44 heavy minutes. 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. The outbound Kennedy remains shut down between Cumberland and I-190 from that much earlier fatal accident and then investigation. The inbound Kennedy itself right now at 82 minutes. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Traffic, a service of Dell Technologies. Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15 powered by Intel Core processors. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. AM 560 Weather Center will see rain this morning, clouds later, and a high of 78. Continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
All right, before we get to Ed Morrissey, your friend Fred is on the line.
Oh, Fred? He owes me pork burgers.
He owes John Anthony pork burgers. All right, let's quickly. Hi, Fred from Yorkville. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, John, I'll get you those pork burgers.
Yeah, you've been saying that for 5 years now, but that's okay.
Well, to your point, you mentioned the buy-in votes and the illegal immigrants coming in. And it's kind of a conglomeration of a statement here, but I agree with you 100%. I mean, the mayor came up with $90 million and just extra COVID money that was laying around to put into the migrant side of things. Why are they not? I mean, where was this money to be put into the South Side?
Right.
Let people live in their communities. I mean, you don't see them going through Chinatown and relocating and building a football field.
Oh.
The only reason they want that football field is to generate the tax dollars out of it. They don't want it to go to Arlington. And, the city's just a dumpster fire. The more money you keep throwing at a dumpster fire, the more it just keeps burning.
Oh, yes. And we have a 5-alarm fire here.
Well, two stadiums.
Thanks, Fred, for your phone call.
White Sox and Bears, 2 stadiums.
Yeah, they want both.
Yeah.
And
Just
guess what?
Make one.
They're not going to get both.
And share.
How are the White Sox doing this year, by the way?
Oh.
Quinn?
Yeah.
Dan Proft? Anybody?
I don't follow Little League teams, so I don't know.
Oh, you don't follow Wee baseball?
Yeah, I don't follow Little League teams. I just follow professional MLB.
All right, well, we have a Democratic disaster and disarray on our hands. Of course, yesterday there was a private meeting with House delegates and Hakeem Jeffries walked out the back door to escape reporters. But you know who didn't? Walked out proud and loud? James Clyburn. Oh, yeah. And he's got a new slogan.
We bad.
What was there more people saying Biden should step down or more people saying he should stay?
We're riding with Biden. We're riding with Biden.
Did anyone mention Paris?
We are riding with Biden.
Was there conversation about Vice President
We are
Kamala?
riding with Biden.
Was there conversation about Vice President Kamala Harris in there?
We are riding with Biden.
Got it?
Hey, you remember
Riding with Biden.
You remember that movie with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder? We bad. Uh-huh. Yeah. Sure enough. You remember when they went to jail?
Yeah.
And they had to.
And they,
they're
we
like,
bad. Yeah,
we
that was
bad.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what that remind me of.
Reminiscent of that. With more on what's going on and will he or won't he? Because I think we're going to be playing this cat and mouse game for the next 120 days. Let's welcome back to the program Ed Morrissey, senior editor for hotair.com. Good morning, Ed. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, John. Doing well.
So earlier this week, you wrote an article about President Biden considering dropping out of the 2024 election if the next few campaign events do not go well. Do you still feel that way?
No. I think he's staying in. And honestly, I've always been a little skeptical that he would ever agree to leave. He's been in Washington for 50 years. He's at the pinnacle. And I think he is, my opinion of Joe Biden really hasn't changed over the last 40 years. He thinks he's a legend in his own mind. He's the smartest guy he knows, and he thinks that everybody else is intellectually beneath him. And I am sure that he still feels that way, and still thinks that he can BS his way through whatever damage that he does to himself. And he's managed to do that over the course of his political career, and I think he's just decided that I'm just going to roll the dice.
Yeah, but the radio interviews that he gave, even after that horrific debate, first to George Stephanopoulos, then he went on Black Radio, and even Jake Tapper now is on to him, and he just roasted him the other day, and he pointed out that Biden, in one of these interviews, called himself the first Black woman VP.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first Black woman, served with a Black president. I'm proud of the first Black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States of America.
So he clearly, the cleanup is not as bad, or is it worse than the crime? Don't you agree?
Well, the cover-up is worse than the crime, and that's the problem that Democrats have right now. It'd be the most convenient thing for the Democrats would be for him to step off the stage so they don't have to keep answering to the American public about the fraud that they perpetrated on them for the last 4+ years. And certainly for the last 2+ years. I mean, that April 2022 clip of the Easter Bunny blocking Biden from talking to reporters, you had a whole bunch of reporters that sat there and watched that and never bothered to follow up as to why the Easter Bunny was blocking Joe Biden, bodily blocking, waving his arms, I guess, or paws. Like, if you're the Easter Bunny, I guess they're paws, to keep him from talking to reporters when he clearly wanted to. I mean, the Easter Bunny was ordering the President of the United States around on the White House lawn, and it doesn't get much worse than that, and yet it took more than 2 years for the people in the media to actually start digging into this. I mean, it's a fraud, and it has been going on for 4 years, and the media has been part of it all along the way.
Yeah, but now they're upset because they got cut out of his health problems. I mean, that was a big thing the other day with KJP because they weren't in on it, and they were supposed to be part of it. When, how many times has the neurologist been to the White House? 8 times in 8 months, and they only know that because of the visitor's log.
Right. Yeah, and they're trying to say, well, they were there because of legislation. Well, I don't know which reporters managed to pass their American civics class, but the White House doesn't write legislation. The Congress writes legislation. And maybe he got there once to confer with the president on what Congress was doing, but the neurologist didn't need to be there 8 times in 8 months to talk about what what they might legislate in terms of neurological care. I mean, that doesn't even hold water, and yet the press is swallowing that too. Nobody's actually raised that point. So why would he go to the White House? Why not go to Chuck Schumer's office?
Right.
Well, Ed, I'll tell you, I agree with you. The only way I see Biden coming out is if they invoke the 25th Amendment or something happens to him while he's running for office. Other than that, I don't see that because the bigger problem is you, as I stated earlier, you skip over Kamala. You have now just given black people a reason to not vote for you. And I think that's a bigger problem than him, staying in the race. What do you say?
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. That's been I've been writing about the Kamala conundrum for several months now. Is that there's no way to bypass her because of the way they set it up, and so she would have to be the alternate. And if they did do the 25th Amendment, she would be the incumbent at that point.
Yep.
They're not going to do a 25th Amendment, though. I mean, the one interesting factoid about that is you can do the 25th Amendment and remove him from office, but it would be over his objections, and it doesn't disqualify him from running.
Yeah.
So
right.
He would still technically be the nominee and run for president, even if they took him out via the 25th Amendment.
Well, do you think there's going to be a brokered convention? I mean, and what is this virtual vote that they're going to be taking before the DNC? Then why even have it?
Well, the virtual vote is because they scheduled the DNC poorly, right? The DNC scheduled it after a few of the state deadlines for ballots, so they have to do the virtual vote ahead of time in order to do that. And so the convention.
Oh, to get them on the ballot in Ohio. That's right.
Yeah, Ohio, and I think there may be another couple of states too where it's a potential issue. And so, I mean, the conventions are usually just shows anyway, right? I mean, it's just usually a 4-day party, and that's normal for these conventions. But yes, I don't think that they're going to unlock the delegates. Biden's people are probably mostly in control of the DNC anyway. But doing that basically would negate all of their primaries, and the primary voters are going to have a fit if that happens. And the unions are running behind Biden now too. They came out. The Big Labor came out yesterday and said, no, we're doubling down on Biden. So, good luck with that in Chicago. Fight the unions in Chicago. That'd be real fun. I'd like to cover that one.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. So, what is the First Lady Jill Biden's role in all of this? And I wanted to play this because right after the debate, they had their little group on a stage nearby, and Jill was up there, and she was so condescending to the president. Now, I know that's also her husband, but just take a listen.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Why?
I mean, I think she's so power hungry. And nobody's reporting this, but on Monday, she campaigned in 3 different swing states.
Wow.
So do you think she's the force driving this? Because if I had a loved one who showed signs of dementia or just Parkinson's, anything, I'm not a neurologist, but I would take them straight to a neurologist and have their health be the number one priority.
I'm glad you mentioned this, Amy, because what we saw, what everybody saw, what was undeniable is that Joe Biden is a sick man, right? There is something wrong with Joe Biden. And his family has to have seen this, right? And for them to put him on, to allow him to go on stage, not just allow him to go on stage, but to facilitate it and then to endorse it and then to push harder for it afterwards is just despicable. It's absolutely despicable. And this is a man who, you are correct, who desperately needs some health assessments to find out what his issues are and how best to deal with them. And instead, they're sending the Easter Bunny out to tell Joe Biden what to do.
I mean, if he has Parkinson's, there is medicine. There's not a cure, but there is medicine that could stop, help slow the degeneration process.
I'm sure he's taking them.
You think so?
That's why the guy was in there 9 times, right?
8 times in 8 months.
Yeah.
Do you really think they're?
I guarantee they're servicing him.
Well, with Trump, we had his doctor. Remember, he showed up
Ronnie
at one of the
Jackson?
press conferences.
Yeah, Ronnie.
And said he's in great health, and we want to cut down and lose some lbs. And so he took the top bun off the burger and ate the burger and lost some weight that way.
Put it in lettuce.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're not getting any transparency when it comes to President Biden.
No. And clearly there is something wrong. And that's what the debate really was valuable for, because it just exposed the whole thing. It exposed the fact that the media hasn't asked questions about it. The media has played along with Democrats. They played along with the Biden family. And what happened immediately after the debate? The Biden family went to Camp David to determine how they were going to move forward. And then Hunter Biden starts showing up in policy discussions at the White House.
All right, you just stole my thunder, Ed. You just stole my thunder because I was going to say Hunter's another person who doesn't want the Biden.
Oh no, because he could go to jail. They need him.
They get the House and they maintain the House. They get the Senate. I really believe you're going to start seeing some stuff come out about this Hunter Biden investigation. That's not the gun charge, and I think that's detrimental to the Biden family.
Such
and let's not forget that the Biden Incorporated family business is based on Joe Biden's ties to power.
Correct.
It's the only thing they've got. They don't sell any products. They don't sell any services. It's a influence peddling operation. And the moment that Joe Biden doesn't have any power anymore, the whole business model collapses. Yep. And Hunter Biden is in there trying to keep the family business going. That's what that's about.
You mean his blow art isn't cooking right now?
Blow? You said blow? Somebody said blow?
Remember, I mean, you could buy a painting for Hunter Biden for what, $50,000? Oh, yeah,
I thought it was $500,000. Somebody bought one for $500,000
too.
Oh, excuse me.
It was $500,000. Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? I could do that drawing.
Blow? Somebody said blow?
Well, stop it. It's blow art. Okay, so his trial, the sentencing date has been pushed back to, September 18th. The second debate is September 10th. Do you think that was a coordinated plan there?
No, I mean, I basically figured that was probably the first open date that Merchan had on his schedule. I mean, New York judges are just busy that way, but I don't think that second debate's going to take place either.
Yeah.
They're not going to put Joe Biden out there again. The donors would absolutely freak out about that, and I think House and Senate Democrats would insist that he not do that if he's going to stay in the race.
Well, what are they going to say? He has COVID again? He can't go?
No, they'll come up with some come up with the excuse that they should have used the first time, which was that the President of the United States should not have to share a stage with a convicted felon. I mean, they actually had that line set up, and Joe Biden went through with it anyway because he was slipping in the polls and thought that he could throw the Hail Mary pass and win the big game. And man alive, that guy is even if he's not sick, he is self-delusional. He always has been too. I mean, I have a favorite description of Joe Biden that I'll try to clean up here. He's 20 pounds of manure in a 10-pound bag, and he's always been that way. Even when he was young, he was that way. But it's even worse now.
Yeah, and he lies. I mean, he said he drove an 18-wheeler truck driver. What? A civil rights icon involved. I mean, everything he says is a lie.
Trying to see Nelson Mandela in South Africa.
And what else?
I mean,
it was a professor at UPenn or something, and number one in his class. When did he finish? Bottom of his class?
Yeah, bottom of his class.
Higher IQ than anybody else in the room. You know, I mean, you go back to the 1987 presidential campaign. It wasn't just the plagiarism that torpedoed him. It was his big mouth and his propensity for telling lies.
Oh, God. All right, so what are you working on today for hotair.com?
Well, I'm taking a look at this Axios report about how Trump is modulating the GOP's platform, some of the messaging. I think he sees a real opportunity here to depart from the base turnout strategy and really try to reach out to disaffected voters. And I think that could be transformative. It'd be at least a really nice change of pace from what we've seen from American politics over the last generation or so. And I think that there's a lot of promise in doing that. Also taking a look at Nancy Pelosi's decidedly endorsement of Joe Biden on Morning Joe this morning. It was pretty bad.
Oh, what happened? Tell us.
So she's on Morning Joe, and they're asking her, Joe Biden has decided to stay in the race. Are you going to endorse him? And she says, well, Joe Biden should be allowed to make the decision as to whether or not he wants to remain the head of the party and on the ticket, and I will wait for Joe Biden to make that decision. And they said, well, he's already made that decision. and she continued saying the exact same thing. So it's clear that she endorses his decision as soon as he makes the decision that she can endorse. Is basically what the message is.
Sounds like Kamala.
Really, word salad. Word salad but with a purpose.
How do we unburden the unburdened? All right, Ed Morrissey, we're going to have to leave it there for today. Thank you as always. He's senior editor for hotair.com, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
When you're in chronic pain, you're miserable to be around, and so are the people who have to watch you suffer. So stop it. Do something about it. Now's the time to be proactive and take care of yourself. And there's another solution other than surgery or drugs. Call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, they have a cutting-edge treatment that revitalizes your joints with your body's own healing process. So if you have arthritis or if you're in pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, back due to an injury, you need to call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation and get Get your life and mobility back. You know, I've been to one of their clinics. I met a few of their customers. They were smiling from ear to ear, so happy to have their mobility back, pain-free, without surgery. They have locations all across the Chicagoland area, including new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Call for a free consultation. 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
You've heard me talk a long time about the great cell phone service I get from Pure Talk, my cell phone company, versus the cost of Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. You hear just $20 a month, you get unlimited talk, text, plenty of data, and you're thinking, all right, what is the catch? There's no way Pure Talk can offer the same cell service that cheap. Well, I say just ask thousands of my fellow listeners who have made the switch like me. They are loving that they're on America's most dependable 5G network, the same cell towers, same 5G network, and you pay, on average, less than $1,000 a year per family. Anyway, what are you waiting for? It's time to start supporting companies that share your values, like creating American jobs and supporting our veterans. It's time to make the switch today with no contract, 30-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Dial pound 250, use the keyword save now. You'll save 50% off your first month. Pound 250, keyword save now, and start saving now on your cell phone plan.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel, home to the biggest shows on TV, like Brandon Tatum weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, followed by Charlie Kirk at 7. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free, now on Zumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Zumo.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. John Anthony and Charles. Oh,
uh-oh. Don't beat yourself up now.
John Anthony and Charles Thomas, the dynamic duo, are going to be here tomorrow.
That's right.
Because I have a family thing.
Yes.
And I am just, God is good, right?
Yes, he is.
God is good.
I can't wait.
Justin Kosick, hopefully he'll get Employee of the Month. I'm pulling for you. I nominated you.
I want some of that money.
I'd like 10%. No, I get the 10%.
Hey, hit a brother up for $5.
Quinn McCarthy, you're next month. I got it all figured out. Today we're going to have rain off and on. It's a high of 78 degrees. It's now 9 a.m. WIND Chicago.
Democrats divided. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. More Democrats than not in Congress have said they support President Biden's re-election campaign, but another member of the House now says he should drop out, and a senator says he could lose by a lot.
New Jersey Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill becoming the 7th House Democrat to call on President Biden to step aside as the party nominee. House and Senate Democrats discussed their concerns in separate meetings behind closed doors Tuesday.